Well, hello everybody, and welcome. It's Friday. My mic isn't muted, and got a very special show for you today as we take a look at hot new game, Spirits of the Island. Got you all. No, not really. I had this idea that I would do a whole show where I pretended to just be playing Spirit of the Island instead of Spirit Island, and then I realized I couldn't do that to you, chat. No matter what day of the year it is. This is Bacon's idea. I like the idea enough to try and make it work, but I'm not doing it. Hey, Sprigleaf. Nice to see you. Fellow board game adjacent streamer, by the way, everybody. Check out Sprigleaf. Let's give Sprig a little shout. Yeah, so today, because I'm very keen to not give people the wrong idea about Spirit Island, today's theme is bad advice challenge runs. So zero difficulty runs, but where the advice that I'm following is so bad that they're actually challenging. Okay, so I've already got a first one in mind. Chat, if you have ideas, feel free to drop them in chat. I've got a few ideas, so if you're empty, if you've just used up all your ideas because it's Friday, then don't worry, I've already got some. In fact, I've got the first one. I'm going to fire up. Where is it? I've got the first tip ready to go. Pow. It's a FANGS specific tip, which is never, ever convert to beasts. Anyway, Spirit of the Island, goodbye. There is actually a demo for Spirit of the Island. Don't worry. Don't worry, chat. So we're going to jump in here. Bit more ramshackle than usual, because they're trying to make a funny joke. You know how it is. Does no one give a damn about the rules anymore? No. Rules schmools. I'll hide behind here. Maybe up a little bit. So it's a Fang specific one, and the challenge is meant to be mildly amusing. Bad advice challenges. If you have ideas for some, we'll use them. Never use disease with vengeance. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we're talking about here. I've got some other ideas. Yeah, I can't use vengeance in app, unfortunately. Okay, so as this is Fang specific, I'm going to have to use Fangs, and we're going with. Just check we've got events on because they're fun. So I'm not allowed to convert presents to beasts. Okay, this is terrible advice. And yeah, I've got a few others in mind. Random quick plays, then bad stips after. Could try that one. The trouble with the random quick play is that there are a lot of scenarios that I just don't know very well. As in, I will struggle to remember the rules. Never use an innate. Yeah, that's a good one. Let chat choose all your power card draws is another idea. Only ever gain major powers, unless you're Bringer, in which case that's kind of semi-good advice. So I'm going to have to start using my brain now. Okay, so I actually, one idea I had was never place presents, but I just don't think that's possible to win, even at difficulty 0, if you don't place presents. Maybe, I was thinking maybe Ocean could do it. Maybe at difficulty 0. Never play more than one card. Yeah, that's a nice one. Because we all know it's important to never reclaim. So yeah, never. So if you're constantly only playing one card. Some spirits can make that work. Especially the spirits that have got sneaky other ways of doing things. Never reclaim. That's like next door to good advice. I'm going to have to try really hard to not just autopilot this and just be constantly turning my presents into beasts. So I'll try not to do that. I hope you're having a good Friday. And also, I don't want to do too much business, but then going next week onwards, these streams are going to start a couple of hours later. This is partly so that North Americans don't have to get up especially early. I reclaimed maybe twice during my demo game. Was I dead weight? You were dragging the team down, Sprig. Horrifying. Nah, that's okay. It's allowable. 2 reclaims is probably about, well, it varies by spirit. If you're Rocky, you can just reclaim every turn and it's fine. It's probably not ideal, but it's fine. Okay. Oh, I can't even... Oh, whose idea was this stupid stipulation? Luckily I do start with a couple of beasts. It's snowing again. God damn it. Why do I have a schedule? See, whenever there's weather, I like to just go outside in the van and just sit in a lay-by enjoying the weather. two-handed non-synergistic spirits. I mean, in base, are there even two spirits you could say were actually truly kind of counter-synergistic? There aren't many quick play scenarios at level 0. Oh, I guess a load of them will buff the difficulty. Interesting. No reclaiming sounds like a fun one depending on the spirit. I mean, for some spirits that you can just make that straight up work. Like Jagged Earth Spirit Starlight, which don't have the app yet, would work. Also, Howdy Glimmer. Or, as Urgot says, Glimmer, Glimmer, Glimmer. But I do start with 2 beasts. This actually... maybe this will just be fine. We'll see. But let's not try... Let's make this something of a speedrun, right? We'll just blaze through this. Blaze through it. Can we prevent that build? I think if we go top track, we can enable this by playing these two. Preventing that build, letting this go. Can we do much about this city build this turn? If we pray on the builders... To get a beast in there, we would need to be doing this to move our presence in there first. We can only place in jungle in these 2 lands to start with. By doing that, we're kind of not able to address this, but dealing with the city build probably is a good idea. Because especially as we are not able to pump damage with our innate. Pick level 0 for quick play will only be Blitz or Guard the Ard's Heart. Okay, I'm more familiar with those scenarios. We don't... So you're thinking we'll do a random one and then choose a bad advice stipulation after the fact. Okay. Note that. Note it down on the list. And there is a list. It's right here. Quick player 0. Plus, and then chat comes up with a stip. Chat. The lovely chat. Right. Do I want to prevent this city build in here? Or do I want to prevent this town build in here? This will have a messy counter. So, it's a bit unfortunate, but there's just all these... but this land will sort itself out unless we get unlucky with the event, of course. But if we are living in a world without events, they build the town, the explorer ravage, one Dahan gets damaged, one Dahan gets killed, the counterattack kills the town, and then we are that semi-solved that land. But we're Fangs, we don't really like Blight. I realise. No sacred sites of Rocky. Yeah, you don't want to use that. Like, straight up, when I first got Spirit Island, why is the soundtrack so quiet? It's because I'm spending ages in this mode, isn't it? In this bit. Just bump it up a little bit. Because I'm speedrunning so quickly, the music can't even catch up. But when I was first playing Spirit Island, I pretty much ignored elements, pretty much ignored my innate. Never use a counterattack. Yeah, never use the harm damage. You don't want to get them involved, take the high ground, do it all yourself. Self-reliance. Pull the island up by its bootstraps. So the trouble is to prevent this city build, we don't really want a messy counter in here. Though it is next to a jungle, so we can kind of take care of business eventually. And to actually use our innate to tackle this land, we have to kind of go into the top track, but that's kind of okay. The thing to bear in mind is that these really are our only beasts, unless we get lucky with our minor power draw. Seems like there are many ideas that could make for interest, but yes. Yeah, hopefully, anyway. Hopefully. And I feel like it's kind of good to maybe have a slightly more beginner-friendly stream, in theory at least, because I've just been really slack at updating on YouTube. So either we're letting this go with a Blight here, or we are preventing a city build, preventing this build by destroying this explorer. My god. We probably want to put the presence in here. This is actually a general idea a lot of people say, is they always want to keep a presence in each jungle with Fangs. Given that we are never converting to beasts, this is probably sound advice in this context. And also, you're less likely to make a mistake. Teeth Gleam can make beasts. Oh god. Oh, God. It can, can't it? Okay, maybe this won't be so hard. Okay. Okay, peas and ants. You thought you spent... To think, I actually spent a while thinking, trying to brainstorm ideas for this. Well done, peasant. Well done. Okay, well, we want to go up. I think we want to go up here if we are going to use 2 near the jungle. Do we let this go? We'll need a major to dislodge this, especially with the blight in there. And without converting beasts. That is something of a problem. Interesting, this island board, we're not adjacent to this inland wetland either. If we bring a beast in here for prey, we could be whittling away at this over time. I think that's probably a reasonable thing to do. Okay, we actually don't need to do beast damage in here. Though, yeah, we let this go for a messy counter. We push into here. All we need to do to get the push is the two animal elements, and we're guaranteed that as long as we play 2 cards. Two near the jungle we'll probably use, because in case we get one of these 2 explores. Highly likely to get one of these 2 as an explore card. Highly likely. But really, we should look at the power card first. Okay, peas and ants. You might draw wasps, it's true, it's true. Okay, we didn't draw wasps, don't worry. It's okay. We didn't draw them. Spare on, no. Depending on which track we go on, we're probably going to be a bit broke. And for those of you that are less familiar with Spirit Island, I'm sorry. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. The stip here is about this particular ability that FANGS has. Call forth predators. During Spirit phase, you may replace one of your presents with a beast. This is incredibly powerful. This is the secret sauce to making FANGS good. Without it, FANGS is underpowered. Had the absolute worst draws of Vengeance last night. Feels bad, man. You took on Prussia 6, so, you know, you get a bravery award. You may need purifying, and it has plant. I'll have you know, I had a bath last week. I am incredibly clean on the piezo scale of cleanliness. Purifying is a pretty good shout. We could tidy up in this coastal land. Nothing else is that impressive. Boon is incredible with multi-spirit. As soon as you, but in solo, very rarely the right pick. This does nothing. This is nice and cheap. It's off-brand. The gather could be good, but we actually know that we are letting one of these lands blight. So yeah, I think this is actually a good clean call. No double presence placement might be good, bad advice. Yes, good one, Pano. That's actually one I've got. Because I was trying to look at the no presence place. It seems impossible. But spirits like River, Keeper, if you're not allowed to place the double. I think River is the best example. If you are going for this being pseudo useful advice, couched in idiocy, then maybe. But yeah, I like that one. It's on my little list. What else is on my list? Never draft on element. Never think for yourself, as if you just get chat to make your decisions. But yeah, I did look at the spirit boards trying to figure out a way of doing it with no presence placement. I can't see a way. I can't see a way. We've got a useful extra play here. We're gonna... Do we want to do the damage in there? We could even go double. We could go chase and prey. Chase and prey could be alright. If we go chase prey, there is no way we're doing the damage, which is fine. Which means we're kind of empowered to go bottom track and get the 3 animal by playing cards. So I'm actually going to go bottom track because it's my favourite track. You can always do no energy from drowning with Ocean. Good luck with that. Like Ocean was the one that I thought you could make it work. Hey, Mr. P. Welcome in. The one thing I thought you could make work with Ocean is no presence placement. I think that might work at difficulty 0. Okay, so we'll put this up here so that we've got good grounds for using these things. We'll go with Terry's Chocolate Chase and prey on the builders. So we'll prevent the build in here. We'll relocate. We need to. These are at 0 range, which is awkward, but we can move our beasts and some presents can go with them. Chase pause, same land. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. High level strats. Return of the Noiter. Yeah, tomorrow. Back to the Noiting. And possibly, I'm thinking about doing a whole load of Noiter next week. I've got back into the game. Maybe only energy from explorers. I quite like the idea of just ocean that just sits in the ocean. It would be terrible. Okay. So yeah, we just need to bring a beast in here. Oh no, it's actually better to do it this way. To gather and push the beasts into the places we want them. So if we gather into here, we can actually push both. Now we're going to prey on the builders, so we actually don't want to push both of them into here. If we push the beast, if we prey on the builders, we'll probably be responding to the explore card that shows up. So we're not necessarily pushing into... We're not necessarily kind of be pushing back into this jungle. We're not playing too near the jungle this turn, so I'm tempted to put the beast in here, but it's always, I think it's always better to have your beast in with something. We'll put it in here in case it saves us this mess here. One inland land ocean, same land all game. Also, you could go worst ocean land, this bottom corner one. So we'll bring a presence in here so we can actually use these things. Do we want to bring a presence in here? No. No, because this land is possibly sacrificial. Okay, so we get to prey in here. So this city build's prevented. Didn't bring spoons, but I got tea. Nice. What kind of tea you rocking, Mr. P? Jungle explore, huh? So, Terry's chocolate chase. We'll do that in here. And we'll push into not jungle. This has blight already, so we'll push in this sand, I think. I mean, the nice thing about pushing to jungle, though, is that we are... Then this land here is unexplorable. However, it might be better to go this way. Only ocean... Ocean only likes land 3. Yeah. Something green with orange, I think. Diogenes redeem. God, these are getting few and far between, the Diogenes redeem. Almost retired Diogenes. Replace him with a better philosopher. I was tempted to buy a Zhongzhu redeem, except he has less short things. I'd have to spend more time researching. I ain't doing that. Jungle seems best. I'm not sure. The thing is, sand is nice because we've got purifying flame. We can tidy it up pretty easily. We can tidy it up. Okay, here's one from Diogenes Lurcher. Seeing a second-rate wrestler practicing as a doctor, like you do, Diogenes said, "What's the meaning of this, then? Is this how you're planning to bring down those who once defeated you?" I mean, there's a handy little epithet for if you're ever in the situation where you go to the doctor and you go, "Hey, you're not a doctor, you're a wrestler." Confucius. I can't say I'm 100% behind Diogenes. But I feel like I feel more in line with Diogenes. Not so into Confucius. Not really, not quite so, we don't have so much in common. Just me and Zhongzhu have more in common. Good old Diogenes. I actually think my knee might have slipped down my leg a bit. Need to get it back up there. Okay, we've got this dirty counter in here. It's hidden slightly behind the stip, or obscured. So we kind of can let that go-ish. We've of course don't have to worry about this ravage here. They're going to build a town here and here. But that's fine. So this turn... Oh, are we going to be broke? We are going to be able to afford to just go pure bottom. So we can tidy up post-ravage here. But we need a sacred site to do it. That's fine. We can make one here. We can make a sacred site there. We can gain the extra energy we need from this power card gain. I think we always want to be looking at more power cards. And we can use our beast damage somewhere. Maybe in here to prevent the build. We could bring a beast Oh no, we can't bring a beast over there and do the damage because we can't damage after the push. We have to damage before the push. So we could bring a beast in here, prevent this jungle build, which we wouldn't have been able to do if we'd pushed this lot into here. So I like this power card gain. You can't reach that far inland, wetland with 2 near. No, but I can deal with a land that's more worrying. This one here. I can deal with... I've got stuff I can deal with. Well, I got stuff I can deal with. Well done, peasant. You're incredibly coherent today. Okay, Enticing Splendor's nice. We particularly like that it's cheap. We could choose to do that instead of Purifying Flame. Why? I hear you cry. Because if we were to, say, bring this beast into here, prevent this build, push the beast into here with presence, we could prevent this build as well, which gives us some time. We like time. It does also have the plants, but it's more relevant if we're going... If we might pip into top for a little bit. You know, maybe be a little bit less mono-dimensional. I mean, yeah, this is good. Veal solves problems. I mean, we could prevent the build here, but we can kind of we can do it with this and save energy. One of the things with going bottom track is that you are generally pretty energy poor. It's a general rule. And so this saving of energy is pretty welcome. I mean, Enticing Splendor, we can actually just prevent the blight in that coastal mountain by dragging the town into here. We could do that. We could do that. This does have the, you know, these are generally the elements you want as Fangs. Especially going Plays Fangs. If you go top track, then you've got these two here anyway, so you're less tied to the elements. But I'm concerned that we're a bit over budget. And as we are following this incredibly bad advice of don't ever convert to beasts, we don't favour our innate quite as much. We want the gather push, sure, for our targeting and stuff. So what problems does Veal solve? We can prevent that jungle build with Veal. Make a safe ravage. I don't see how it makes it safe. We'll still be looking at a town blighting. We'll kind of still have the same situation. For a minute I was thinking to myself, surely Peasant to think of using a card that uses Veal. Yeah, surely not. No Veal-based cards here. Not on this important hallowed day. So yeah, these elements are good. Wow, it's actually could end up being a 4-fear minor power. Then you realise it was Veil. Yeah, it's with me being hilarious by changing how I pronounce things. Yeah, I think you'll find it's actually quite funny. So we could entice to prevent the blight going down. The trouble is we're then setting up a big land by doing that. And given that we don't have a million beasts running around, and for some reason I seem to be heading down the bottom track, we just don't have the power to deal with a big land like this. Not really. This was my other proposed turn, so we just clean up the mess. Plonk a beast somewhere. And hopefully respond to a wetland explorer if that's what we get, or a mountain explorer. We've got a decent 2 near the jungle, regardless of what comes up. We know, of course, that this is going to be one of the other 2 land types. We know this; it is known. I wonder if this could be our victory condition if we just blaze through the fear deck, starting with coastal sand. With disease means that this is going to be a 3 fear card whenever we play it. Oh yeah, reclaim 1 favours the 0 costers. I think tormenting, then energy reclaim next turn. I mean, I think it's a good general principle to go with plant beast, especially if you're going bottom track. We could even play it this turn. We know that this isn't mountain, so we've got a chance to maybe clean up with Purifying Flame next turn. We've already got a plant. I mean, if we go with this plant, we might just pop up to top track. The trouble is the budget here. We're going to be very broke. And the trouble with being broke is it really wrecks our flexibility when it comes to our reclaim, which costs us an energy. Don't really want to be in a position where we're forced to pick one of these options instead of placing presents. Which is why I think I do ultimately favour Splendor. But Bacon seeking energy reclaim. Ugh. Ugh. I'm not doing energy reclaim. I know it's April Fool's Day. I know, but, you know, there are limits. Always reclaim early. There are limits, Bacon. Okay, so we'll prevent this build with our innate. So we're set up to do that by using teeth and too near. Bad advice day. I do want to be. Well, I hopefully the bad advice will be obviously bad advice, so that if any newer players tune in, it's more likely on YouTube probably. It won't just be like just a complete mess. Hopefully it'll be of some use to people that are getting to grips with this game. All right. So, do I want to use the flame or enticing? Well, I have remembered that I probably don't want to use flame, so we'll go with teeth too near and enticing splendor. We probably are going to want a sacred site here at some point anyway. So I think this is the play. Playing these three, we get our damage in. No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh, God. I have played this game before, I swear. We don't get our damage in it going like that because we didn't go up here. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's out of their depth. Let's take a pip of animal. Let's just take a pip of animal. No one will notice all this undoing. They won't even notice. This prevents this town build. It helps us deal with this potentially worrying explore. Because this is in with Blight, so we can't really do much about this. And the Cascade is obviously a disaster. We get another beast on the board. We prevent this build. We let this go. And then next turn, we have a no damage beast kind of turn. How does that sound? Sounds pretty wonderful. We'll leave our presence here so that we've got some targeting in here potentially. And we'll push the beast. Could push the beast in here. It means our odds of the beast taking care of it are higher. Though it does mean we're pushing our beast all into a corner. You know what? I'm actually going to put it in here. Teeth Gleam will mean we could potentially take care of this with our innate. I'm not going to bring my presence in here. We're going to have a Dirty Ravage in there. So we might have more presence than we're meant to have. That's no excuse. Okay, towns are doing extra damage. Beasts are destroying explorers. And we get a freebie to Harn, hopefully. We do get a freebie to Harn. That's actually pretty good. So, luckily, the event kind of the events often balance themselves out. So we did get to destroy an explorer, but the town's going to do extra damage. But luckily, that doesn't matter. So we have cleared that land, but it's all dirty. Sand Explorer. Okay, we actually got the better of the explorers, except that Tunid now doesn't prevent a build. But that's fine. Okay, I'm liking the idea of plonking a beast in here, and then we could use our innate next turn. To do so, we will need to reclaim, but it would be worth it because we'll be destroying the only city on the board. We're going to build another city here, but we'll ignore that fact. Too near the jungle, we could actually clear this land completely. We don't really need to clear this land completely, because We just don't. We just don't, right? But killing the city would be pretty poggers, as they say on Twitch. That's what they say. Am I really thinking about reclaiming so that I can clear this town? Yeah, I think I am. So we're at the cusp of stage 2 now. So everything's back on the menu. Completely clearing this land has dubious benefits. We won't have invaders in with our cluster of 3 beasts. We could miss out on 3 fear. We'll probably use... I'm tempted to be nice to use enticing to entice this town out before the ravage. And maybe into... Ooh, actually, we're not going to have many options for that. Love the way the app teases us by displaying the count update when adding components. Wait, where's my Dahan? I knew you were going to reclaim. Damn it, Bacon! It's because I accidentally... a bit like how cats, they control your brain. I ended up cooking bacon at around midnight a few days ago, and now you have complete control. The pea brain is in your greasy hands. Just remember this, Bacon. With great power comes great responsibility. See, it's tempting to destroy this explorer. Why? Because we can then make this a very safe ravage. No event will mean that we lose a Dahana presence, but we're not sure on Dahana presence. Clearing this land has minimal real benefit. We might even really regret it. So I'm gonna move and explore from here. With great bacon indeed. So we did get to 3 players. We do have revealed animal. That does make things easier from the point of view of doing our damage. God, we might even switch to top track here. The horror. You won't be leaving those beasts in 2 after you destroy the city, so getting fear should be okay. Well, true. That is true. That's true, Space Hawk. Yeah, that's true. You're right, because they're not doing a lot over here. We've got business to attend to over here. Yeah, killing the city is really high priority. We've got no way of getting to reclaim 1 this turn, so yeah, I think we actually have to reclaim. And we can reclaim... We could look at a major power, but these are all potentially doing useful things for us. We still want to keep placing presence. Yeah, so we reclaim. We are broke. Damn it. Might end up having to do the... do exactly what Bacon says. Well, look who it is. If it ain't old Swarming Waspy Jefferson. My old friend. Good to see you, buddy. Is it the right pick? I mean, especially given that we've got a couple of plant cards and we're going plays. I mean, it's already a great card. It's always a great card for old Fangsley Amos. I quite like Gift for Fangs, but this is better. Because basically you get a card like Gift of Power to find powers like Swarming Beasts, Swarming Wasps, or Defend cards, honestly. A Defend card would be nice. It would be pretty pog. Swarmy McWasp face. Exactly. That's who we've got here. You considering a card with an animal element? I know, right? I know. Madness. Just want to click this button and turn some of these into beasts, but no. Yeah, okay, so we will go with the original plan, destroy the city in here. It's almost tempting, actually, to destroy the city in here and then bring bring the town into here as well, because we'll be able to just repeat use our innate, especially now that we've got another animal card. We've got yeah. So with 1 energy, can we have a decent turn? I think so. We can go too near, and we can go enticing, and we can go swarming. Actually have a 0 cost turn, and because we've revealed this animal here, we will hit our innate and be able to do the key ingredient of the turn. And of course we need that 3rd play to do so. So let's get it. Let's make a sacred site over here, because why not? Why not live your dreams? That's my initial idea. We do just quickly mouse over. So we get to do the plan. We can even clear the land entirely, but I am thinking of yoinking this town into here instead. That's actually the only land we can yoink it to, and I think there's no benefit to the messy counter here because it's not really improving anything. It's a decent turn, and we're even covered for half the explore options with our Tune of the Jungle. So we'll go with this. So we can swarm a wasp in there. I like the town yoink. Yeah, I think it's right. It means we can just smash this land again quite easily. Oh yeah, we need the presence in there first. Oh, wait a second, Pizzo. We can't get presence in there. We can't actually do the town yoink. I'm sorry, chat. I've led you astray. Can't do it. Because I don't have a beast in with my presence. I can't make a presence go in there. There is no town yoinking to be had. We're yoinkless. We could just clean up some of our mess. And clean up this mess to make up for this mess. We want to keep the pure animal cards so that we've got flexibility when we do this. We don't want to reclaim again. You could place presence there. Oh, I can place presence there because there are already beasts there. Okay, crikey. Look at all these undos. Undoing furiously. Good call. Good call, chat. And we can have our lovelies love to play 3-0 cost cards at a time. Chat really earning their wages. I do pay. Everybody in chat gets paid 20 pence. They don't. No one gets paid here. No one. No one gets paid. Doesn't really... We've got a disease there which should prevent the build. But it doesn't matter if there is a build because we've got 4 beasts in here. And if we really want to, we can reclaim to add another beast. So, we'll kill the city. And the explorer. We don't have any slow damage. And we can push if we want. I think, given that there's a small chance that a event will mean that the disease doesn't prevent the build, I'm only going to push 1. So that if we do need to do 5 damage in here, we can easily do 5 damage in here. And I'm going to push, as all these lands are empty, I'm actually going to push into this land here. Because this is the land that is the most dodgy for me to deal with. Do you want to push a presence? We'll leave a presence there. You only need 3 beasts, so wasp with present, use that. Wasp to a presence and use that. Not sure I follow. Years of Little Rain? Hello, Years of Little Rain. I don't think I've got any water cards. Brutal. So we've got let the plants wither. Plants die and the land wither. But we got lucky. We didn't get an extra free blight. During the next normal explore, skip the lowest numbered land. Okay, I'll take it. Thanks, Fear card. Each player removes an explorer or town for land where it's the only invader. That's not applicable. Do you have a slight problem in that there's all this stuff over here? Sand is cleared. You only need 3 beasts, so wasp to... Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, Space Hawk, I'm catching up with you. Yeah, so I could have used wasps to put a beast in here and then use that to move. Would have been less down. I think what Glimmer and Baker were saying was better because we did get to clear the Explorer, so it was an improvement. Definitely an improvement. Okay, so we can now use 2 near to... So this Explorer here was prevented by the event, if you wonder why there's no one in there. But this one is fine. We prevented the build there. We do have this Ravage in here, which is going to be a pain. But we do have Purifying Flame, so we can just tidy up afterwards. Which is fine. How are we doing? We are 3 fear from Terror 2. The damage is quite significant because not having clearing completely is useful, especially with events in the game, because you can't be sure that a lone explorer is harmless. So everyone is in here. Is it time for a YOLO major? We can, of course, as FANGS, use this energy option. I actually use this option very rarely. Very rarely indeed. So we could get potentially up to 5 energy and make a sacred site. And we could grab the Reclaim 1 as well, which is super powerful. It's probably the thing to do. Is to go... Oh no, but we don't get to look at a major and get the 3 energy. How much energy can we get up to? We can get up to 3. That could be a kind of decent defend major. What we really want is something like Poisoned Land. It's a 3 cost splat kind of card. You know the kind. 3 cost 7 damage. Wham bam. You just got jammed. But we're not. Let's go for a major. You just need resilience. True. Always just need resilience. Kind of keen. I kind of want to wrap this one up. You know, just want to wrap it up. The horror of not converting my presence to beasts is slowly eating at my soul. Because we don't have a way of making damage happen in there. Nothing we do does enough damage to address that. Our beasts are miles away. It'll take... Actually, we could get 3 beasts in here by using our innate and pushing 2, placing 1 with wasps. That's 3. There will be blight, but we can clean that up. I mean, we could do it with our innate, actually. We could do it with our innate. Maybe we don't need to go for a major. It's just going to take a while, okay? This blight here is actually annoying. Actually, no, it will take ages. Because we can only gather push 1, 2... Yeah, it's going to take ages. Let's grab a major. I have a bunch of 1 costers. Yeah, I've got all sorts. All sorts. Well, Paralyzing Fright, my old friend. How are you doing? The solo player favourite. So often very, very good in solo. Is that not really ideal for our situation? We've already gained this energy, I think. So if we do play this, we're playing it instead of placing a presence. But I think we can Paralyzing Fright our way out of this. Can we? Can we? We can't get to Reclaim 1 if we try and play this turn. We don't have to try and play this turn. We could just play it on a subsequent turn. Nothing else is very appealing, in all honesty. These are just too expensive for FANGS. What about you, Death Falls Gently from Open Blossoms? You are definitely a card. And we might even have access to the threshold, which is unusual. I don't think I've ever got this threshold. In the app, anyway. Does seem like a pretty tasty threshold. Extra 3 fear, 4 damage. Damage in the land we're struggling with. I mean, look at it. And look how big the card is, right? Look at those other cards to the left. They're smaller. It means they're worse. That's how it works, isn't it? It does do damage in this land. Yeah, I think we can just use this a couple of times. What do we forget? We don't want to forget any zero costers. We don't want to forget Purifying Flame. Probably we forget... because this has the good elements. We're going to be playing this turn. Let's forget Prey on the builders. Yeah, let's forget Prey. You have to place presence as Fright needs a sacred site. Good point, Spacehawk. Damn, chat is on the ball today. We can't actually... I mean, the threshold is nice. We can't force it this turn, can we? No, we can't force it this turn. And the threshold is just some extra. I think this is worth playing this turn anyway. If you play this, it's a shame to play this with this and not just with this other little cheapie in here. Maybe we don't play it this turn. Get to reclaim one. Just have a decent turn doing other things. Wish I could type fast. Well, I am speedrunning, right? It's going to be hard to keep up. So I think we hold our horses here. We probably will clean up our mess. Or we hang on to this so that we can use this with Threshold. Or we just play this 2 turns in a row to clear this land. If you go with the energy, that'll put us on 6. If you go with 4, we've got 2 energy left over on the turn. Gain 1 energy. If we get to reclaim 1, we can get it back and gain energy. But then we don't have Threshold. We don't care about Threshold, though. We should be able to... Flame also needs a Sacred Site. Good call. We've got an okay Flame down here, because we can use it in Mountain. But yeah, this is where the Flame really wants to go. Do we care about this Threshold? We don't really care about the Threshold. I think it probably actually makes more sense to wait a turn. We could place a presence, get the Reclaim 1, get Enticing Splendor back. Then we'll want 5 energy for that following turn with Purifying, Death, Enticing. We also can set up the Sacred Site, potentially for the Purifying Flame in here. Yeah, this, yeah, I just don't like skipping the presence placement. So we'll keep this for next turn. Or maybe I'm just achievement hunting for the... for this. And I think we can just play these things and just be happy. We will get to rearrange our beasts. It's a very low-key turn, though. We're not really doing anything. We can reclaim one of these next turn, but we'll have 4 plays. So we could Purifying Flame in here this turn. But I think we want to keep the... we want to hang on to the energy. We need 5 for that Threshold. I might just be getting obsessed with the wrong things here, by the way. This might just be bad play. Maybe get Wasp this turn, Enticing next. I think I like the idea of just plonk... oh no, we won't be able to put a beast in here. We can use Terry's Chase in high likelihood to prevent whatever gets built here. Unless it's coastal lands, which would be a bit annoying. We can actually do quite a lot with Enticing next turn. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I don't think this is good. This is actually just bad. Just bad. Bad play. Bad peasant. And we don't have anything for our beast to go, so what I'd rather is hang on to these this turn, and next turn, maybe reclaim Wasps, maybe reclaim Tune of the Jungle, and play it as a 4th action if I can. I'll have 1 energy left over. Actually, I'm going to have to go with these 2 to get the energy together. So we won't have the luxury of a 4th action anyway next turn. Partly because I'm playing these expensive cards. Terry's Chase doesn't do anything on paper. God damn it, Bacon. Actually, no, this time it is Bacon. Bacon really has installed some kind of device in my brain. Oh no, we can't reclaim this turn. Oh my god, the P-brain is scrambled. It really is. We'll reclaim this next turn and we will... Wasps. No. No gem. Yeah, let's just flood the island with beasts. Don't spend the energy here. That will mean next turn I will effortlessly have the 5 and I can keep placing presents. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even... What is this game? Okay, so we'll just relocate another beast in here. We probably don't want to necessarily empty the board of beasts. This already has a disease in. But yeah, let's just push beasts in this direction. Leave a presence in there. Hey! Bad advice challenge or peasant is best. Hey, what are you saying? Doing my best to lose at difficulty 0. Okay, invasive species bloom. Yeah, we can... Can we do that? Can we do that? We'd have to forget Teeth Gleam to get it, but it is a free beast and a fear. And we are going to get an energy from Pattern and Dance. Thank you, hippies. Peasant as beast. Nice, nice. I like it. I like it. I think we transmute the worst, just because, you know, you can't not transmute the worst. We're basically trading. We really don't want invasive species to bloom. Adding blight we don't like. So we're kind of trading this option that gives me a fear and a beast for this option that gives me a fear and a beast. But we don't have to engage with this option, so I think it's the right pick. Discarding this from hand is horrible because then we are giving up our bonus thresholds. So we'll forget this to pay for it. Dude, I watched almost all your videos last year to become better feeling for the game. What I've learned so far. Trial and error. Thanks for your concept, by the way. The thing is with Spirit Island is that it's a very forgiving game, right? And I'm not very good at pure crunching, but I kind of feel my way to some general guidelines, right? That's generally how I deal with strategic complexity. So just feel my way in. But yeah, glad you like the content. YouTube's been a bit slow lately. That's just because my energy level's been low. But I've got hopes and dreams. I've got thoughts and prayers that I'm going to be implementing on the channel soon. Soon, TM. Okay, we're going to get to use this threshold. What a day. So we need to reclaim Enticing. We're going to need 5 energy, so we do need to play one of these. And if we want to squeak in a chase there. Oh yeah, by the way, Jasper, anyone that's recently joined, it's used to me starting 2 PM UK time. I'm pushing it back 2 hours for the sake of my North American viewers, which I assure you they exist. I think they exist. They think they exist. I guess that counts. So this is kind of just dealt with, right? The disease should prevent the build. And if it doesn't, we've got time to fix it. So we're going to have this very, very self-indulgent me chasing the achievement where I use all the thresholds. Chase lets me rearrange beasts. Yeah, it would do, because it would give me the animal element I need. It would give me the second animal element. Oops. See, bacon's North American. And especially with the YouTube thing. I think a lot of people come from YouTube, and YouTube's big in North America. They don't even have televisions anymore. Everyone just has massive phones and watch YouTube on. Gives you 2 animal elements. 2? Oh, it gives me the total of 2. Yep. Certainly, it certainly does. Alright, so... yeah, let's just go with known quantities. I kind of feel... I feel very lucky that I've ended up with things that add beasts to the board beyond converting my presence, because that's kind of made this a lot easier. It's made it a lot easier, and that's what's fun, is playing the game on too easy a difficulty. You can chase coastal sand. Yeah, if I need to. Well, I need to. So we're going to... hopefully is this going to do enough damage in here? It's not. Oh, it will if you use Purifying Flame for damage instead of Blight Removal. So you could do 4 damage with Death Falls Gently, and 8 damage with Purifying Flame. We do have the Sacred Sight we need. But that is slow phase business, so we might not get to do that. Oh, we've got Enticing Splendor anyway. Just entice this guy away. How about that? We are enticing them away from a beast. So, you know, let's just not do that. Let's not do that. We could bring the beast with them. Best of both worlds. There. Take the stip without taking the stip. I know, right? God. How do I sleep at night? Poorly. Apparently. Yesterday, I couldn't sleep, so I drank loads of valerian tea. That was not a good idea. I think it was actually undermined my sleep. I learned something today. Well, it was today, but it was last night. Don't drink that much valerian tea. It won't make you sleepy. Just make everything weird. Okay. Got some annoying explorer pushes going on. That's fine. Where do they go? Adjacent land without invaders. Let's push in with the beast. Each time with this, at least 2. There's only 1 in there. What's going on here? Oh, that was the beast bit. I do sometimes get a bit confused with what's being resolved. I should look at the flower. I had to pee so much. Hummingbird hawk moths like valerian. Good lads. I like valerian, but I think I had too much. I'm very sensitive to that kind of thing. Push a beast to an adjacent land with no blight. Deals the damage there. I know a land with no blight. Oh god, I'm getting so confused. Well done, peasant. I mean, at least I didn't move the presence here to prevent my win. My great victory. Because we only need 2 fear to get to Terra 2. Right? Right? So we could do this with Threshold. This might be the first time I've ever done this card with Threshold. Make sure we do the damage to the town. Too much tea means lots of bio breaks from sleep. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that it is like a mild psychoactive-y kind of drug, and it was just a bit weird. So we get to add some disease. Lucky us. Disease for everyone. And we can finish with the Purifying Flame. Very rarely use Purifying Flame for damage, but sometimes on April Fool's Day, I do. Okay, that was our first great success. So here's the take-home message. Never, ever convert, when you're playing as Fangs, never convert to beasts. Alright. Okay, that was that take-home message. Let's figure out the next one. Let's just invoke some democracy. while I take a quick bio break. So the next one, we have had some, I think I've written down the ones I like. Never place 2 presents. And we'll be picking a spirit that does it. Then there's the Bako random, which is quick play. I'll let Bacon explain. See if anyone's like, what the hell is Bako random? And what was the other one? So Bako random will be a quick play at 0 difficulty with chat then coming up with something. And let's just confuse democracy by having never draft on elements. All right, that's gonna be 2 minutes. I'm gonna have a quick bio break. And I'm gonna run ads. I'm sorry if you see ads, but it'll stop. It'll mean that people that join the stream won't have ads for like the next little bit of time. So I will be right back. Don't forget to vote. You can use your Pizzos to vote. If you have an auto clicker installed, that will help you win at democracy. So get in on that if you can. Okay, there's the ad. Okay, so how's the democracy going? Never place 2 presents is in the lead. So for that stip to make any sense, I'll need to be a spirit that can actually place two presents. So we're looking river. We'll have another. We'll have river. You don't see a vote place. Oh damn! It might not be on. It might not be on mobile. That's possible. Sorry about that, Bacon. So yeah, maybe it's a desktop thing. Oh god. That's just democracy. No going earth. Impossible to place double. Okay, so never place 2 presents. Let's edit the stip. Stip 2. Never place 2 presents. Okay, we have a couple of candidates for that. Keeper is the obvious candidate, but another candidate is River. Oh god, lightning. I'm terrible with lightning. You really want to see me suffer. My stip, have a good time. How dare you, blah 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 blah. Hello, everybody, blah 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 blah, otherwise known as blah 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 blah. Yeah, thanks, Buttspot. Hello, Strimbler. No keeper either. Too powerful, even with only 1 presence place. Okay, so what are our options? Lightning. Baker's saying like, okay, if someone confirms, always pick the first power card. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's add that to the next democracy. Always pick first power. I like that. That's a good one. Okay. Baker, I can see it's you that second time. Thunder Speaker. I'm not sure it would actually make that much difference to how I play Thunder Speaker. Bearing in mind I'm terrible at Thunder Speaker. Okay, we need someone to settle this. Trying to get some chat participation here. Ugh. It's like, okay, lightning. Damn it. Texture. I thought we were friends. River will just be fine with that double, I think. No challenge, no fun. True, true. Maybe we need to... So I'm terrible with lightning. I did watch the good video. There is a good video out there on how to play lightning. I can't even find lightning on the screen. I'm so bothered by them. So lightning do have a double presence placement that's kind of essential. Oh god. God, lightning. Oh. Oh, the only good thing about them is they place 2 presents. So, given that I'm terrible with lightning, I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna play it on 0 difficulty, we'll see. Maybe it will be a speedrun. Maybe. Lightning difficulty 0, thanks for believing in my lack of skills with lightning. So I can't do this. You definitely want to do this as lightning, because typically spirits... Here's why this is bad advice, by the way. Spirits that have double presence placement typically have weaker tracks. It's partly to make up for the fact that they can place 2 presents in a turn. So if a spirit has double presence placement, you definitely want to do it. You brought this on yourself. I should have kept it a secret. Oh, I don't understand lightning. You have so much energy, it's true. I will have so much energy. I'll feel very lucky. The trick, so what I do understand from playing lightning is that you don't, the trick to playing lightning successfully is you just don't necessarily want to play all your cards all the time. That's true for all spirits, but for lightning it's particularly true. Because you've got a really useful threshold, but you can't consistently get it if you are playing all your cards. You kind of need to be thinking about this from turn to turn. Anyway, that's enough of me pretending to know how to play lightning. Interestingly, I also don't have good range or presence placement, so I'm going to want to be sloping over here. I can make a sacred site here in a few turns, which will then mean I'm capable of using my innate in all these lands. Probably want to shatter in here. But because we are lightning and we can make things fast, we can kind of do that at our leisure. We don't have to do it this turn. That is never get a temple / slaw / what's the in-game term, just never the second growth option. In this case, never the second growth option. So sacred site is the terminology you're looking for there, Mr. P. Yeah, I should honestly, I probably should be fine. So yeah, I think thinking about sacred site placement, I'm going to just build towards having sacred sites. And given that I am forced to take this option when I want to place presents, I'm not going to worry so much about the energy track. Notice how far you have to go down the energy track, and that's basically kind of because there's a double presence placement option. You can play 4 cards next turn, handle your problems. Exactly, so that's the trick. Oh god, Cthulhu redeem. Damn it, Mr. P. Where are you, Cthulhu? I have to go find Cthulhu. There we go. Don't blame me, the Ancient One must have borrowed it. I know, right? Goddamn Ancient One. But yeah, thank you, Mr. Aggressor. Cthulhu doesn't sit next to the PC for those late night streams to frighten the RNGs at Twitch. No. Cthulhu was on the floor in the kitchen. I don't know why. Okay, so... God. I think also the Cthulhu redeem is like, you know, you just use it when you're tired of the stream. You just want it to be over. Okay, so what Bacon was saying is valid. Oh yeah, I need my headphones on. That's better. So what Baker was saying is pretty valid. We probably just don't play anything this turn. Have a big turn next turn, right? If we hit our thresholds, we can do... Ooh. If we play all 4 next turn, which will need 6 energy, which we will have, we could actually destroy... Let one of these blight and destroy the city. That'd be pretty fun. Oh god, top tip time. I know where these are. Okay, so those of you that need a top tip, let me just find one. Blah 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 blah. What's blah 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 interested in? Okay, here's one from P. Hamlet in Manchester. Might be useful for blah 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 blah. Avoid annoying your neighbours while listening to music at full blast by simply disconnecting the speakers from your amplifier. So that's a tip for you, blah 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 blah. But everyone else who's listening, feel free to use that in your life. Okay, we're not going to play any cards. You can reclaim turn 1 for energy and use growth 4. Stip keeper, but you hate sacred sites. Don't make one ever. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to make a little note. So yeah, useful tip there for blah, blah, blah. Thanks for you spending your pesos to make everyone's life better. Okay, sand explore. Okay, even more incentive to smash this city. Okay, so this is the high priority ravage. We can deal with that with shattering homesteads. So, we're not allowed to use this option. For clarity, people that have joined, this is the stip. I can't use this option. Never use the standard opening. Interesting. I guess there are some spirits where they do have a very clear standard opening. And I'm just catching up with what Glimmer was saying. Oh yeah, if we want to kill this city, given that if we play all 4 of these cards, we will get this, and it's a shame to destroy this when we could destroy a city. So I'm going to make the sacred site here. Originally I was planning to put presence here and make a sacred site over there. Okay, I'm just gonna let Glimmer work out the kinks of their scenario. So we get to play all these cards, and we can play them fast. Wow. Isn't that wonderful? So, we don't have a messy counter. I feel like that's another trick in the Lightning playbook, is to use the Harbingers to set up a messy counter. So Explorer plus Town versus 2 Dahan. 1 Dahan unfortunately dies, but then they fight back on the Ravage and destroy the town. Forgot you can't use turn 1 energy for turn 1 growth. I still like it. Bacon does too. Okay, these Bacon and Glimmer, they draw a lot of water in this community. They are literal water mountain people. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll destroy the city, let this go. Where are we going to use Harbingers? We destroy this town. That should hopefully, unless we get unlucky, prevent the... Should mean that the Ravage doesn't cause a cascade in here. However, we could think about playing around events a little bit by pushing one of these into one of these lands. Oh, there is a build we can prevent here with a very expensive 3 energy to prevent a build. Bacon doesn't like messy counters. Property cripples Keeper. Okay. Alright, well, that looks quite popular. We'll try that next. So you might need to reiterate for me the when we get there. Okay, so let's destroy this city. Because we can. We'll shatter these homesteads. But first we'll want to use Harbingers to just get that extra fear for pushing in with the building, I think. No benefits pushing in there. So yeah, I think we just push in from one of these lands. These are in with my presence, so we like those a little bit more than these ones from the point of view of playing around events. So we'll just get that extra free fear. Gorgeous. We can shatter these homesteads. And then Raging Storm we can use to prevent this build, right? I mean, yeah. If I was Caelan North, this game I could have played this game 10 times over by now, but I am not Caelan North. But if you don't know who that is, they are our premier speedrunner. That's the name you want to put into your YouTube. They also do other cool videos as well. Okay, extra explore distance, we don't care about that. Disease damage and fierce mean. We'll actually get some fierce mean. Disease actually just killed that explorer. Strife in a land with Dahan. Very relevant. Could have been relevant. Wasn't. Okay, so we don't have a slow phase. Slow phase? Oh yeah, here's a classic bit of terrible advice. Never use slow powers. Slow powers are terrible. Just don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't waste your time with slow powers. If we destroy these 2 towns in the fast, we don't have the energy to do that. Unless we get very lucky with the power card draft. then we actually wouldn't win, and because we just haven't generated enough fear. We need to generate 6 fear to get to Terra 2. Watch Kalen do England 6 plus the hard interaction 17 minutes. Yeah. They know their way around the time there. They're very fast. Here's the main reason I'm not a big fan of lightning. You just only get to gain cards very occasionally. Which, just on the reclaim. I think this is my main gripe with lightning in reality. So I just love gaining cards. We don't really want to lose one of these possibilities. These are all kind of useful. I mean, lightning speed doesn't do anything much, but it does have perfect elements. Getting the next level of this is really nice. We could actually just let a land build up and clear it. He's damn fast. You're reclaiming, you like it. Okay, so I think we have to go for a minor power. I mean, maybe we don't actually. Now that we've destroyed the starting city, we possibly could just make do with this level of our innate. So 3 fire, 2 air. If we drafted 2 minor powers over time, we could then have... Oh god, it's so grim. It's so grim, Jim. And a fire element, if it only had fire on it, it's still useful. God damn. Yeah, I think you have to go for a minor power. Okay, this does have our perfect elements. Here is Chris de Koala's favourite card. AKA Mega Chris. Oh wow, and here's Glimmer's favourite card. Glimmer always claims that it's Manifest Incarnation, but really, it's more beasts. We know it. It is known. So probably this for the elements, right? And possibly the fast fear. This can just get me the 4 fear I need to... Can I win this turn? Can I? Can I win this turn? I might be able to win this turn. Because we can use this for 2 fear. We'll place a blight. If we plonk it, if we make a cascade happen, it's 4 fear. If we use shatter, that's 2 fear. And then if we use our innate, that's another fear. We should better win in the fast phase, right? Haunts is a cheaper boon. True, true. Yeah, I mean, this is just an objectively good card. Aside from the fact it means we win. More beasts can kill a town and get you a 2nd fear. It's a winner. Hey, poultry speaker. Hello, hello. We're not allowed to place 2 presents, but luckily, I've convinced chat that difficulty 0 is okay. A low-cost, limited elemental boon that only works for lightning. What's not to love there? So yeah, let's just win, shall we? So we use our innate to get, and we get to use Lands of Haunts and Embers, like the heroes we are. So we've got Thundering Destruction to destroy a town. Shattered Homesteads destroys a town, and then we just make a lovely little cascade for the remaining fear that we need. We need 6 to get to Terra 2. Let's just put the boon on top anyway, as we can. These are some great tips, yeah. Yeah, never place 2 presents, BFL. You know, I heard you're struggling with the game. Actually, we would have got an extra fear there as well. I heard you were struggling, so I thought I'd do this super useful stream where we just only share the best advice. Convinced that Morbeast is quite good on Vengeance, haven't tried it yet. I think it is okay with Vengeance. It's okay. It's like, well done, Morbeasts. You are... Today, you're okay. You're acceptable. So yeah, destroying that early city is what has enabled this very quick, what should be a win. You only need 2 fear, but let's just have 4 fear instead, because it's always better. If you can blight the island, always blight the island. That's my principle. So you let you blight the island. Downward spiral. Okay, that one was possibly easier than it should have been. But okay, what was this one you were suggesting for Keeper? 0 cost fire gives you cheap city kills with an 8. Yeah, I mean, it is just a good card. And the fact that you can use it to get a 4 fear, especially in true solo, is no joke. Oh, flap. I'm loving this flap redeem. The culture of flap redeems is a good culture. More beats is good for lightning, not as good as haunts. Bold claims bacon, they call them. Okay, so the next stip, we're just going to skip over democracy for this one, I think. So, what is it? Is this really bad advice, though? How do we frame it is the thing. You hate sacred sites. Okay, so you can't... So yeah, sacred sites are pointless. Okay, that's what we call it. Sacred sites are pointless. How's the Spirit Iron Madness going? It's going alright. It's going alright. We're sharing some bad strategic ideas. Sacred sites attract invaders. So, Keeper, let's go D board. Everyone loves I heard everyone loves D board. It's their favourite board. So, okay, the stip really is we can't make sacred sites. That's going to be awkward. Why? Because you're kind of forced to make a sacred site with Keeper turn 1. So we're going to have to go with no growth picks. Why are we forced? Because you start with no energy. You can actually... Yeah, you start with no energy, and your growth option here is add a presence to land with wilds or your presence, okay? So starting the game, unless you're on thematic, there's not going to be any wilds on the board. Morbius is a tier 2 card for lightning. So we can't use this turn 1 because sacred sites are pointless. Just to reiterate. Start going turn 2 and catch up from there. So we can't do this. Because we can't do this, we can reclaim to gain the energy to do this. I mean, Keeper's so ridiculous. This probably will just be fine. Because we can... Oh, no, we can't do it. We don't have our income. Piezo. So, yeah, we are forced to do these things. Just gain the energy, so not I'm working with. Okay, so... We might kind of want to use Sacrosanct to put a wild somewhere, so that we're kind of guaranteed that we'll be able to explore. Sorry, place presence. Or even... We're only going to have one play. So... Ooh, Gift of Constancy. So we've not been blessed with any cards that require Sacred Sites. Let's see if I remember that, that Sacred Sites are pointless. Can't afford Sacrosanct. Yeah, that's like the... so here's an actual useful thing with Keeper. If you want to play them well, you're always trying to hit this. So remember the theme of the last run. Never double place presence. AKA any other day of the year. Always double place presence if you can. Keeper's weird though because their tracks are just really good anyway. Apart from this 2-2, this is just they're just good tracks. I mean, it's always hard for me to resist Constancy. It's a good card. And there's no need for me to say it like that because it's just the best card. Probably is this my favorite minor power? Possibly. What are we actually dealing with here? Jungle build on the coast, that's a problem. Not going to be able to do a lot about that. We can never use Towering Wrath because we can't make a Sacred Site. Because making Sacred Sites is a terrible idea and you never want to do it, especially as Keeper. So we have a single play. We could just use it with Constancy. The trouble is, the good thing about going with this turn 1 is that it doesn't spend 2 energy. So the trouble with this is it spends 2 energy. And what that means is that I can't double grow on a future turn. Oh, another wrinkle is that really I don't want to spend any energy. Because if I can do this, I can add a presence to a land without blight, so I'm not restricted by this. And this basically means is really good for making sacred sites out of existing lands, but that is pointless. We've established it. You'd have to play towering, it just won't do damage. So, given this weird stip, I think we actually just go for Gift of Constancy. So we can do this. The reason I don't... But given... Okay, bear in mind this is playing around the stip, largely. I mean the good advice that we're dealing with. The main reason I'm doing this is that if we go with the standard option of Boon of Growing Power to place a wild, it's something you'd want to do anyway. Preventing a build is pretty good. The trouble is... I mean, aside from we don't have a build to prevent here, the trouble with this is that if the wilds then gets invaded, we'll be in a position where, because of this weird stip, we actually can't place presence at all. And that is not what we want. So I think actually we do this. This will give me the energy to just be able to do this next turn. And then maybe do this as well. No, it won't be doing that as well. So we'll just constancy, and we'll get to the joy of constancy. We'll get it next turn. At least we know which card can be ironically forgotten to pay for Sacred Sites of the Threat. Don't know why with that card, with Sacred Sites under threat. Just don't get it. It's just one of those cards where I'm like, what does this do? So we get to reclaim Constancy because it's the best card. Name me another card that lets you just reclaim itself. Good luck. This is going to be let go. We've got 2 builds in here. So, side note, for why you like Sacred Sites to keep aside from that your power needs a Sacred Site, is that this is actually a super cool power that Keeper has. When you create a Sacred Site, push all Dahan from that land. So this Dahan push can be incredibly useful. If you've got a good defend card, that's why. That's why this is terrible advice. Yeah, no Sacred Sites under threat this round, because why would you have them anyway? So it's kind of weird. We are limited to 1 presence place a turn. I think I really need to get to 4 energy and maybe start blasting mages. So we can't have blight as well. Thankfully we can clean this up in the future. I think the 4 energy is essential. Is it? We have constancy. The trouble is our plays are weak. Yeah, we definitely want to get to 4. Especially as we can't, as it's going to be very awkward for us to double place presence. The nice thing is, if we can hang on to our... Oh, whoops, I've done it in the wrong order. You should always look at the card first. You don't want to be scaring Dahan. Yeah, never use Dahan. For business, you should be taking care of yourself. So, yeah, it is just... You always want to look at your card first. Let's just think about what I'm doing. So if we go here, kind of like, we might just play Boon of Growing Power anyway. This could be a messy counter. We don't like messy counters as Keeper. For targeting purposes, probably presence in here or here is good. Actually, here is good if we weren't kind of looking down the barrel of a Ravage soon. 2 plays lets you play Constancy. Feels worth it at the moment. I mean, that is true. Because of, yeah. I wonder whether we start looking at useful mages. A lot of our usual tricks we just can't really use. Yeah, Constancy Boon could be pretty nice. Bacon there. Bacon that actually from the future, just watching the VOD and telling me what I do. You could double grow. If I get lucky. If I get lucky enough that we don't have the sand explored. Do I look at a minor power? I think we look at a minor power. A cheap defend card would be nice in this coastal wetland up here. Expensive defend card is beyond us right now. Okay, we can't gain the defend 4, but this might still be valuable. Enticing Splendor, my old friend. My oldest friend, also, you've got to love it's cheap and has the elements we like. Half the benefit of Boon of Growing Power is it has these elements. Sun and plant. That's pretty good. Razor Sharp Undergrowth, very rarely what you want. Very rarely. But Fast Wilds, huh? You'll be able to push and explore with Boon and Gift. Yes. Yes, I will. Actually, this without the beast placement is just a kind of a beast for 1 energy with kind of not perfect, not bad elements, but not perfect. We forget this. We don't want this. Do we? No, we don't want that. Enticing Splendor, we can use this turn to just prevent a build. We can't do anything with Razor Sharp this turn. But it does add wilds, you see, which is pretty beneficial. If we added a wild to a different land type, that'd be good. The trouble is it doesn't have sun on it, so I can't use it this turn. I like the idea of Splendor. Slow wilds are safer when you want the wild for presence placement. Ooh, that's a good point. I like it. Okay, so we've got a lot of people clamoring for the early second play. The gift, I think it's, especially in this particular circumstance, it's good. And we can go at 3 range. I think we entice. Just prevent this build. Actually, this build... Oh, it's in with a beast. Mata, mata, mata. We definitely want some presence around here. Though here could be okay as well. Interestingly, unusual for Keeper, this could be a place where we have presence in with Dahan to get beneficial events. So... we can't use this because there are no wilds on the board. So we gain a power card. And again... oh no, in this case this is kind of right. Constancy and Gift are enticed, yeah. And the main reason for that, for people that aren't quite as sharp as Bacon, is that we will get to use Spreading Wilds to do, and this is great. This is the only way we can double place presence in this slightly ridiculous stip. Okay, so let's look at another minor power. So no perfect sun plant up here. Hey, Mateus, nice to see you. I mean, Zafulas. Zafulas. I am Cthulhu. I'm allowed to say things stupidly. But I'm going to be a bit muffled. It's important to be ridiculous too. What's this magic cosplay? I think it was Mr. P redeemed P Thulu. So here we are. Apparently at some point I thought this was a good idea. Here's Savage Glimmer Beasts. Nice corn face. Do what I can. I'll try and have as corny a face as possible. Okay. Do we have a good use for Rotflies, huh? We might do. Rotflies is a 2-ranger. We could use... you could use it to kind of milk for fear in that corner wetland. The air actually does give us more range on this. Not that it matters that much on a solo board. Call to Tend is pretty sneaky. We can just sneak away at Blight. These are all luxuries we don't have for a while. This is a semi-irrelevant pick. Let's just grab Rotflies. Savage Morbeast is flexible. You're not forced to target jungles and wetlands. No, it is stip. This is a stipulation. But I'm trying to save letters. Okay. So this turn... go Constancy because we want that energy. And we prevent this build, right? But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Zafulas. Oh, everyone's being nice to Buttspot. Glad to see it. So, we're probably letting this go. Now, as we have regrowth from roots as our start hand, this is not such a big worry. Like, often, this corner land is the worst land to let blight, but we're not so worried about it because it is a wetland. And, you know, we just don't worry about things. We're just relaxed. We might start looking at majors soon, TM. Probably this should have been a look at a major, actually. No. This is disposable, though, so yeah, probably. Let's gather in this explorer. This build's now prevented. Morbius is sacred to target. Makes it even more strong. Town's doing extra damage. Beasts are destroying. Okay, we're going to get some help from the beasts, and then we get a freebie Dahan. Lovely. So that land just been cleared by the event. We get a free Dahan. Unfortunately, this lad's dead, so let's not just add someone else in there that's going to die. This ravage will kill them. Sorry about that. For some reason, I'm playing this ridiculous stipulation. When playing Keeper, I have to keep reminding myself that Keeper doesn't like moon, air, or animal. Then I find I have to pay for a moon or air event. Yeah, it's something that's it is good if especially when you get like 4 mech cards, is to just think of what are your weak elements. It does feel like it's like right at the bottom of your list of priorities when drafting, though. Just chilling down that work week is coming to a very natural and pleasing end. Of course, watching how to play Spirit Island, because myself, I don't really know. Don't worry, Pitholu knows. Okay. So yeah, we kind of got lucky there. And this build is more worrying. Do we actually have a way of dealing with this? See, traditionally with Keeper, in a world where you think Sacred Sites aren't pointless, because you're a fool, you'd use this to deal with those awkward blighted lands. That's not the world we live in. We've rejected the idiocy of the Sacred Site. So, where do we want to put our next presence? We don't have any targeting over here. We're not... Oh, this actually is even better. Why? Because it's in with 3 Dahan. Having 4 Dahan in your lands is potentially very strong. Boona Power gets forgotten for Transmutate. Oh, weird, because we went bottom. We're kind of away from this. This is weird. This is particularly interesting, the Gift of Constancy, meaning we go bottom. But function, it's very similar to just going top, really. Except the extra energy. But then we're 2 turns away from getting this easy 4. Huh. We are iconoclasts. We are wild. But then preventing a build is just valuable, right? So although it's not ideal for targeting, we'll just put a presence over here. Yeah, preventing the build is worthwhile. We could push into here. We do have blight cleanup in wetlands, so the risk of a blight going down is not as worrying for us. What do we reclaim? C. We could reclaim to prevent this build. With constancy, prevent this awkward build. And this is why I really rate these 0 cost fast powers. So Enticing Splendor is one of them. Call to Isolation is another. This push from lands of Dahan for 0. And with nice elements if you're doing Dahan stuff. I think some of these 0 cost fast are very, very powerful. Obviously Defends are amazing, but these other ones are good too. Lure of the Unknown, another power card. Though this can be awkward at high difficulty. Okay, so hopefully... I wonder what we're doing next turn. So, we should be able to play both of these next turn. Of course, as was noted by someone intelligent in chat, the fact that this is a slow place means that we're definitely going to be able to place presence in there. That's not something I'd consciously realised before. Gold's Allure. Where does your current stipulation come from? Your own idea to spice up? It's because it's April Fool's Day. So... I had a few ideas of things to do. I thought I'd do something that, because I've been a bit slack on the YouTube and not really doing much that's very beginner friendly lately, I kind of wanted to do something that is a bit more beginner friendly. I don't think it really is. I think I'm lying to myself. But if you're not lying to yourself, well, you're really going to be able to lie truthfully to others. Call to Isolation does bonker stuff when Ocean's in play. Yeah. But yeah, the calls are amazing. Okay, so let's just think about next turn. I think next turn we want to grab a major. We've got loads of energy built up. We want to place 2 presents, so we're going to get to 4. So we should be able to gain a major, place a presence in here, have a presence in one of these lands. Probably whichever one of these looks less shady. So we'll be playing 2 cards. Hopefully our new major, and maybe we clean up in one of these lands. We are at the cusp of 2, so I think possibly a regrow. But then regrow, we don't get this push, which then means we're not placing wilds. So... oh no, we will get our push if our major has sun. Are we going to Enticing Splendor next turn? We could Enticing Splendor to prevent this town build, which is kind of nice. We don't have any defend cards. We can't just kind of defend this on a future turn. Also thinking that without Sacred Sites, there's a whole load of cards we can't use. First, one needs to know how to lie to oneself. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you came here for Spirit Island idiocy, and actually getting life idiocy as well. I'm doing what I can. Let's go with Gift, because it's just the best minor power. It's the best minor power, what can I say? Right. So, we've got all the energy, so we can do these in the good order. Though, this is not a choice, so we'll just do this first, and we definitely want energy. So the reason I'm doing that first is remember our Stips, so I can't make Sacred Sites, because they're pointless. So normally I would wait and see what this was, but I have no option about this. So we'll look at our power card, and we're going to be up to 4 energy income. So we've got 8 to play with, so we will look at a major. We've got a couple of things we could forget. It's like a River England 6 build. A little bit. Okay, what do we get? What do we get here? Power Storm. These are definitely cards. Might even want to Boon of Great Power, just find something that's less rancid than this. What a rancid collection. Of course, this needs Sacred Sites. This needs Sacred Sites. This makes a Sacred Site, which is forbidden. Because we really think Sacred Sites are pointless. The only card we can actually take and use, aside from just for elements, is Power Storm. With Power Storm, what could we do? We could Power Storm Gift of Constancy. That would make me very happy. All those cards that want Sacred Sites. So this is the only one we can actually pick. Do we even want to keep it? Yes, we do. Let's get rid of Towering Wrath because we can't use that either, because Sacred Sites are pointless. And we'll put a presence in one of these lands. Why? Well, I had a reason, but I've forgotten it. Oh, that was it. Actually, wait a second. This land's kind of even better. But we don't have reach into here, so... we'll go into this... this land here. There is actually a kind of reason for that. Is because this land, because we've got blight removal in wetlands, is a bit more palatable to just let blight. And we don't really want to lose presence if we can help it. If you only have 1 destroyed presence, then you could use it. It's true. I think the Powering Fright's a dead card now. I know, the pain. 7 energy for a nerfed elemental boon. Yeah, well, that's value. That's what you want. Okay, so Ravage. We've got 2 plays, and if we want to keep on placing double presence up for... oh, interestingly, the Blight here is kind of going to get a bit in the way of this. So the double presence placement actually isn't as important now, because especially as we've got constancy racking in the energy and we've got these great mages. Good joke there, peasant. Use Power Storm to threshold Power Storm. Unlimited power. We have become gods. Ugh, what even is this turn? Okay, so we're going to be looking at mages next turn. Let's just look at a major this turn with Boon. And... clean up, I suppose, is also kind of useful. We have revealed the sun on here, so we will still get this. The only place we can really target here are these two lands. Quickly check. There is a town building here. Do I want to do anything about that? The only thing I could have done about it was use Splendor, but we can use that next turn. Hey, Fractals. Cthulhu. Yeah, Cthulhu is here. You meant towering... Oh, okay. Meant towering. Okay, fair enough. That makes some sense. Okay. So, farmers seek Dahan for aid, do they? It's a shame because we get a build here where we shouldn't have a Ravage. This card is absolutely brutal, by the way. This can take a winning position and turn it into a losing position because, especially if you've got good counter Ravages set up. Are we spurning? This is another one that I don't have an intuitive feel for. So, we add a blight to a land at least 2 buildings. Such a land does not exist. Okay, that won't happen. 2 damage to Dahan and land with buildings in Dahan. So we'll lose a Dahan in here. Sorry. Buildings have minus health this turn, probably irrelevant. But the key thing is we don't get this extra blight place, and we'll still get to clear this, and this event doesn't boost damage. So we spurn. Get spurned, invaders. Hey, brain. Stips will always take top event choice. Always. Oof. Just think of all those valuable brain energy you'll be saving. So we might want to add it to Sand and Wetland if that's an option, so that we can milk this for fear. So this is sand. It's not about to build. This Dahan could still be useful in this awkward blighted land. It's also a blighted land we can't clean up with regrow, so we care. We really care. So we'll do this in... Doesn't do damage to invaders, unfortunately. Damage to invaders, of course, would have been nice, but... Doesn't do that. Just learned how to play this game so I can watch and try to understand. Okay, brain, full disclosure. We're doing ridiculous, bad advice. Runs today. Watch out. But yeah, welcome to the wonderful world of Spirit Island. Such a great game. You know, the world might be on fire and in its death throes, but, you know, board games have been pretty good the last few years. Indie game scene's amazing. Alright, so next turn we've got a Ravage. That's the thing we need to really worry about. Because, you know, worrying is always very productive. We can look at what power we're gaining first, and we do have Spreading Wilds. So, the stip on this one, for anyone that's joined recently, is I can't make Sacred Sites because Sacred Sites are pointless. So, here I can prevent this build, which is pretty useful. Useful use of this here. Wrong day to learn this game here. April Fool's runs. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, brain. Don't follow any of the advice, though I am putting advice scattered in, and it's up to you to figure out whether it's good or bad. That's what an elder god would do, you know, and I try and live that message. Okay, we may as well just do this. Especially when there are decisions to make. I like to do the no-brainer things first, even if they don't really add complexity to do them. I like to do them first. So, if we push from here, we can have a wilds in here, which sets us up for a double presence place, say here and here, which is fine. This might influence it. Okay, we want to look at a major. Played with a friend who had it in their head that buildings didn't heal. Nasty awakening. Yeah. It's always interesting with physical board games. The rules that people get wrong. Like, one of my closest board gaming friends, he'd been playing Puerto Rico wrong for, like, years. So those of you that know Puerto Rico, at the start of your turn, you pick a role, right? If you're playing the game by the right rules, you pick the role and you do it. The way that he was playing with his family and friends was you pick the role, and then the next player picks their role, and the next player picks their role, everyone picks their role, and then you resolve them. I don't know how they arrived at those wrong rules. Clearly, if they'd been like Pizzo and had enjoyed playing Puerto Rico against the spreadsheet, I'm not even making that up, you know, they wouldn't have made those mistakes. Could enticing next turn. True. Could do that. Talons. Yeah, Talons does solve this. And it's quite a lot of fear. And we can even afford it. Because we are rolling in it. There is rules. Yeah, we're playing with Stips today. April Fool's bad advice runs. That's what's on the menu. Oh, of course, grant hatred. Almost. This is almost like bad advice. Always take grant hatred. Always take it. I mean, Indo-Clamo is almost an always pick, right? But it does solve this, does accelerate. But bear in mind, the stipulation we're playing with, sacred sites. We're not allowed sacred sites because they're pointless. Puerto Rico was my introduction to modern Euro games back in the day. Great game, yeah. Really great game, mechanically. Use all that air that you don't like. Yeah. Do have some air. So I think we go Talons. We actually don't have any... Wow, Power Storm has the fire air. We could do double Talons. We'd need a lot of energy. We need 12 energy to do that. What do we forget? Maybe Sacrosanct. Sacrosact's kind of good though. Don't want to forget Splendor. I'm not going to justify myself. Could forget Regrowth from Roots. Except we do have Coastal Ravages, and we're on D board, so there's two wetlands. Is it just me, or does Coastal seem to never be removed during setup? I've only removed it once or twice. Maybe your hands have got some kind of subconscious bias. 9 energy, 3 from Storm. Yeah, but you need to pay 3 energy for Storm. Then you get it back, and then you need to find 3 more energy. Oh god. Oh god, the P-Brain. You can forget Boon of Power. It's true. We do have plenty of ways of gaining stuff. I feel like this is the least likely to be actually useful for us, though. Actually. Because we are not really spamming out the wilds. Though we often hitting the element threshold. 2 fast damage is a town. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. And we've got plenty of other sunny things. And enticing is just really great. We love enticing. Mathstar. It's a common error I make with Power Storm. Is to forget that I need to pay the excess. So if you have 9 energy and you pay Talons and Power Storm, you then gain 3 energy back from Power Storm, but that's not enough to play Talons. And I've made that calculation. I've made that miscalculation a few times. Oh, damn. I've interesting. Okay, that's an ordering issue. Okay, I should have done this first because if I forget this, I don't get to do this. That's very interesting. Okay, that's changed my... Get rid of Sacrosanct Wilderness. Don't tell George A, okay? George A has played more games with Keeper than most people have had meals. Sand to push in with the wilds most of the time. Forgetting boons stunts your growth. I always think a rebate is a net gain. There's a reason I'm poor. I think I could afford my heating bill. Yeah, I get confused by it as well. Okay. So we've got this Ravage here. We can solve it with Talons. Why not? Why not? It's April Fool's Day. Let's spend 6 energy to deal with Explorer in a town. Clearly a good idea. Can we actually get the energy we need? If we skip the extra growth, maybe. 10 plus 1. So we could double Talons. Do we really want to double Talons? Okay, here's another bad tip. Always use a 6-cost major to deal with a lone explorer. I mean, the plus side with this particular 6-cost major is that it does give you 3 fear, right? But it's a very expensive... If you were turning energy into resources, this is a lot to pay for 3 fear. You can get minor powers costing 0 that will give you 3 fear. Double talons. If there was a town in here, I'd be more tempted. Where are we with our fear cards? We are 3 cards away. 12 fear to get to Terra 2. Still plenty of buildings, though. Trouble with towns, of course, is it only targets the mountain wetlands, which is... So our biggest build-ups are not in mountains or wetlands. Double towns can't be a bad move. If only that were true. I think it's actually better to not do that. It's actually better to just not do that. We can... Given that we've got talents, we're probably going to want to use it occasionally, right? So we probably do want to push the energy track. Could do Talon's Gift. The trouble with Talon's Gift is that we don't get to do Spreading Wild shenanigans. Unless we double place presence, we can double place presence. It's really 5 fear. Well, it is 5 fear, and this is definitely worth it if you're just using the 5 damage, but it's not worth it if you're using the 3. I mean, okay, sometimes it's worth it, but generally, in a game that is not about to be won by that 3 fear... Wait a second, peas and ants. Can I get the threshold? We're short a fire card. Okay, that's something to bear in mind when I'm looking at powers, right? If I do use this option, then we're definitely not power storming Talons of Lightning, but we might still be using Talons of Lightning. Get to 7, that's even better. This is almost certainly going in here. Copied Threshold of Talons, a sight to behold on a big island. Yeah, I bet. And yeah, the fact that the threshold is possible is pretty nice. But if we were going to really try and hit threshold, we probably want to do it next turn anyway. Mutter, mutter, mutter. Lots of wind fire miners. Threshold does a lot of work. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and interesting on a bigger island, this range would be, you know, especially with the repeat, you could do all sorts. Especially where island boards meet, you kind of get that more unbalanced mix of lands. Okay, so this is where we're putting this presence. I'm going to just do this first. This is just to prevent mental errors. As my head slowly overheats. Imagine a spirit so not self-absorbed it would get mad at Dahan sacred sites. Yeah, hey dudes, can you just stop with all this sacred nonsense? Do we go in here with this? We will of course look at the power card first. We'll go down to 4. Have 9 energy. Okay. So let's look at the power first. Do we just look at a minor power? This is kind of forgettable, right? This is also quite forgettable. Look at a major. Hey, Keith. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Keith. See, we can't use this because sacred sites are pointless. Can't use this because sacred sites are pointless. What about this? We could add blight to a land we can clean up. That's pretty exciting. We could actually use it in here this turn, a much cheaper solution than Talons. That's kind of tempting. Oh, we don't have mountain presence that reaches. Unfortunate. Wait, what did I do to Pizu? I don't know. Who is this Pizu? I'm Pthulu. By the power of channel points, I have become Pthulu. We could Pyroclastic in here, though. That's pretty enticing. We can clear that with Pyroclastic. And it has the fire on. potentially get this Talons threshold. Has the fire air. Pretty tasty. Be quite an expensive business achieving that, but we are keeper. It is possible. You're going to run out of places to put presents. Then you'll be in the snack sitch. Yeah, yeah. So might want to deliberately lose some presents to Ravagers. That's rancid, isn't it? So really, really it's a choice of these two. I like that this deals with this sand. I like it. And has the fire air for potential shenanigans with Talons. I'd love even more if we could do something about this coastal jungle. I think you need some miners. You need some for thresholds. Miners. Miners terrible. You never win playing just with minor powers. That's just a fact. If we do just sacrifice a presence in here, I think we hang on to our blight removal. I think Enticing Splendor is just super awesome. We could even... So I think we get rid of Boon of Great Power. We're getting plenty of chances to draft cards. Can you Pyroclastic later? Yeah, I'm not planning on using it this turn, I don't think. And we do have the presence placement. Do we want a plant or do we want energy? We've got very expensive cards kicking around, so I think we probably want to push to 7 rather than getting the third play, but we do have constancy. The plant actually isn't going to do a lot for us this turn, I don't think. Holy moly, we might be able to even do this at some point. I've not been drafting with that in mind, though. 2 sun, fire, and... Ooh, stream close up. 2 sun, fire, and plant. We're a bit fiery and a bit sunny. You know what? We might just want the plant. We can get to 4 plays, though. If we sacrifice a presence. Actually, we can't put a presence in here. Mutter. Sorry about this. All this muttering. What were the previous stipulations? That's a good question. The first one is converting your presence to beasts as fangs is a waste of time. The second one was never place 2 presents in growth with lightning. And the third one is Sacred Sites are pointless with Keeper, which has powered down Keeper significantly, but Keeper's so ridiculous anyway. Find yourself a friend who cares about your carpal tunnel as much as Flatty does. Please. Oh, there's a Flap redeem there. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have Flappy as a friend. Very lucky. Luckier than you are. In that regard. No double presence place lightning. Yeah, that was the second step. Okay. Do I want 4 plays? I think in a world where I've got things like Constancy, Splendor, and Keeper of Course can reclaim as well as doing these other things. So I think I'm going to push towards plays. Ignore this plant for now. Unless it means this... I'm going to have to figure it out. Unless it means I could do this turn. So am I playing Sun Fire cards? Could go Constancy, Power Storm... No, I can't. Don't have the... Okay, given that we are not going to be able to get Threshold on Get Off My Lawn, then I think we go with this. I'm going to put this in here to potentially sacrifice the presence because of this ridiculously good advice. Also available for generic stepdad motivational tips too. Wow. Wow, we are so blessed. Do you need a generic bad stepdad advice? Roll up, everybody. So this Ravage is, you know, we would like to deal with that. Our only tool to deal with that is the frankly ridiculous Talons of Lightning. That's the only tool in our arsenal. And it's kind of unfortunate we can't threshold it because we would get to kill an extra town. So... we're only going to be able to place 1 presence next turn because of our stipulation. This has Blight in. So we're not going to be able to place a wilds in there using this ability. So we are all in on this. So we're going to be placing in here next turn, which means we are in a good position to get to 3 plays and maybe reclaim. I mean, we could also pyroclastic and clear out this land. What's the benefit of that? This is good advice. Clearing the inland is often a nice objective because they don't explore in lands that aren't adjacent to buildings. Do you need to plant for first level, get off my lawn? I can't get first level, get off my lawn. Not and have a turn that means anything. But yeah, I couldn't see it, so I've gone whatever the hell this is. So I could go with this. I've only got 2 players. Oh yeah, I've only got 2 players. The trouble with this is it does burn out all my energy. That is kind of a problem. But the benefit is, this will destroy all explorers, and the 2 damage will kill the town. And this is 5 damage to deal with 3 health invaders, but it means that this ravage doesn't happen. And what it should mean is that we don't get any explores, guarantee that there's just not going to be an explore in any of these 3 lands. And that's a big thing to achieve. So I actually think that's worth it. If we leave this here, then all 3 of these lands are open for explores. This wilds would of course prevent that, so we're only saving ourselves 2 lands. But I think it's still pretty good. It's acceptable. Because it's like so here's some actual good advice. Let's just frame it as bad advice. Never prevent builds, and certainly never prevent explores. The game's much more fun when you lose. Okay, so we'll pyroclastic blow in here to clear this land. So now we've just got the coast to deal with. +1 damage when ravaging is fine, because no one's ravaging anywhere. Okay, looks like we missed out on the Dahan fighting the buildings. Explore does not affect coastal lands. Okay, so they're not exploring here either. There's no ravage. There is this town build. So they don't explore here because the event, and they don't explore here because there's no adjacent buildings. Just got into rules mode. So spreading wilds does nothing. There. Wonderful. So the plant would have meant we got to place a wilds, but it probably doesn't matter. Dealing with this was more pertinent. But this time we actually have 2 ravages we care about. So we could reclaim and just use talons in here, which is okay. The trouble is we don't have a way of dealing with this land. We don't have a way of putting a presence in here because of our kind of combination of restrictions. This ability here won't place in a land with presence. This ability here won't place a wilds in a land with blight. This ability won't place a wilds in a land with blight, and this is our way of putting presence in lands with blight. So we kind of don't really want it to blight. In-house, we have no real way of addressing this city right now. So that would be a good thing to do. Just realised that my tormenting rotfly's fear farm over here now does nothing because there are no invaders in there. And there are unlikely to be any invaders soon, so this is forget fodder. And given our stip, there's no point chasing... Oh, we also can't even place presence this turn. Well done, peasant. So let's reclaim. And because of the stipulation of no sacred sites, I can't use this. Gets a lot done, you can clean the jungle. Oh, because of the additional damage. But I mean, I was only doing 2, so I wouldn't be cleaning any jungles. 2 damage does not clean a city. Doesn't he do it, Captain? Yeah, we really don't like all this blight. So probably going to regrow one of these lands. depending on what the explorer is. Of course, this is a slow power, so we'll wait till after the... We'll know what the explored card is before we choose to do this. Though I guess we also know that it's going to be neither of these. Okay. So, this is the only thing we actually do because of the stipulation. Do we actually just want to grab a minor power? Yeah, so I've miscalculated a little bit here. Because I spent all my energy. This is so even if you're playing Keeper non-foolishly, saving energy to do both of these is good. But in this case, I didn't save the energy to do this. I've got a power to look at, Bacon. Slow your hams. Right. We actually quite like all of our cards right now, apart from this, maybe. Where are we with fear? Yeah, we can't just kind of rinse out a fear victory anytime soon. We can solve this with talons. It's a bit gross and it leaves us poor still, but it might still be okay. And I guess the part that so that if there is some kind of benefit to this particular set of runs is that I'm on difficulty 0 here. So this is like what just, you know, not playing into one of your strengths can make... I mean, I know the previous 2 runs were kind of easy, but this one's a bit harder. What about Stips, Serpent, but you can't use the effect of Elemental Aegis? Oof. Oof. That is mean. Aegis is a rubbish card for idiots. Yeah, good call. So yeah, I mean, probably Talons in here. I think the trouble is we are going too low on energy. That's the part of the problem. I mean, I know our Stip is weird. Right, do we want to look at a major? There are plenty of majors that could be good, but because we are not using Sacred Sites because they're pointless, a lot are just useless. A lot of go-to majors for solo are useless. Talon's Pyre is a classic. No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, because the trouble with this play was it meant that I couldn't place a presence this turn. I mean, yeah. Do we go with a minor power here? Maybe we go with a minor power. Though, yeah, ideally I wouldn't be playing Talons. A minor power, we could just entice this town out of here. You know, we could just do that. And if we go looking for these elements... See, Entice does have Plant and Sun on. So if we could find a Plant Fire card to play with it. Still only on 2 plays. Rough. So we could use Enticing to prevent this Blight going down. And we could clean up this Blight with Regrow, maybe. I think we want to make sure that we've got the 3 energy to actually do this ability. To get to 3 plays. That'll be a big power up. Reclaim 1 is for losers. Yeah. Why would you ever want to pick Reclaim 1 when you could reclaim all? So... Yeah, I think given that my objective this turn is to not spend too much money. Though we could go Constancy, Talons, but then we'd still be stuck on 2, which would force us to reclaim to get the energy to do this, which is then kind of, we're spending a lot of energy to achieve not a lot. Given that this has 2 explorers, we're unlikely to be able to use this ability to place a wilds in, and then we could use this. I think I'm just going to look at a minor power. Sometimes you just have to stop thinking. You can't think about everything. Here's a bit of terrible advice. Just take Growth Through Sacrifice out of your Spirit Island card deck. Terrible card. In this situation, this is actually amazing, by the way, for this stipulation, because we could actually just destroy presence, make space, then we don't have to, we can just keep placing presence more easily. But I just generally don't use this card. I guess it's April Fool's Day. I can do what I want. It's my day today. You may want to lose that presence in the wetland so you can clean up and grow there. Yeah, that was an initial idea. I'm not sure I like it that much, but it's It's possible. So we were dreaming of plant fire. This is plant fire. Also a Stips Thunder Speaker without manifest. Yeah. If you like anti-demonstrations, there you go. There's a joke for the French speakers here. I mean, this is objectively almost always the card to pick, which is why I don't have it in my physical copy. Yeah, but you can clear space, and it has perfect elements, and it costs 0. The fire plant opens up doing this. Our suggestions for the next Stip open. It is Stip 4 is not set in stone yet at all. Glimmer is just throwing out the Stips right now. Actually, I should note them down because my memory is a little bit... Serpent, no Aegis. Quickly check. So yeah, Mateus and anyone else, feel free to suggest some Stips. Thunder Speaker without manifest. T-Speaker without manifest, just moving down around on holiday. Yeah, just like Thunder Speaker Chill Edition. We're not... Okay, this actually has our elements for the Talons threshold that everyone's talking about. Except that the Talons doesn't deal with the one land we care about. Renewing Rain, of course, we can't use because it needs Sacred Sites. This Defend 2 actually defend... Oh, wow. We actually get to defend. And has Sun. River, no innates. Stip 4, you can only use powers at their maximum range. Intriguing. Stip 4, max range. Max range only. Interesting. Oh, God. Interesting. It's an interesting puzzle. The P-Brain might overheat attempting to solve that one. Okay, I guess one way we could solve this coastal land is to just throw a load of Dahan in there. I'd love to clean up this mountain blight, but... Do we just go through something? It's April Fool's Day. We're not playing by the usual rules, right? Right? Just destroy some presents with growth through sacrifice. We want to keep this presence in here. Encompassing Ward cheaply solves that coastal wetland. And let's... Yeah, I think we just go with this. And it has Sun on. I think it's a very bland turn. But it means we can afford to grow like this next turn. We tidy up the blight here. Never use your innates was an early suggestion. That's a good... I think that's a nice... yeah, never use your innate is a pretty good one. Do it! Don't you tell me what to do. I'm a strong, independent female. No solution in here, but we can stall by blight removal. Blight removal is great. Oh, yeah. Target ourselves. Growth through sacrifice doesn't work with the Stip. I think you might have some delay. I've already gone through, I can use it to destroy my presence and give myself elements. I've made no mention of using it to place sacred sites. That's not what I've been after. Culture assimilation. Beast attacks. Okay, beast attack just deals with this land. So we'll take it. We'll let the beast go, relax by the fire. Oh, do it was for growth through sacrifice. Come on. It's April Fool's Day, but I've got standards. Live by my own rules. So here's another... Oh no, it wasn't prevented after all. Damn it. This country. So remove that blight. It makes you, it's not optional. Oh really? Okay. That's okay, as usual. Destroy a presence. I could remove a blight from one of my lands. I could just choose to do this, couldn't I? Interesting. The joke in New Enemies mod nobody has discovered yet. Oh my god, Keith. I was there when Sheba saw himself in your mod. By the way, everyone, Keith is a Noita modder, part of the wonderful Noita community. And he made a cool mod called New Enemies, and other mods as well. And in one of them, he immortalized J_Sheba with a big, frankly hilarious picture. So we can use spreading wilds to just push this guy out. I think that's the right thing to do. Prevent that build. Or we could prevent this build. This build's prevented anyway, so let's prevent this build. On April Fool's Day, a propane tank launcher can spawn in Hisi. Catch is, it deals exactly 0 damage. If you're in a land with a blight, you can, which it won't be. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realise that was non-optional. It still would be worth playing for the elements, because that's my one way of actually doing some damage. In this awkward land here. So I think we're spreading that. And you know what? Let's just put it in here. You know, we've got this land that's just a big nightmare problem. Let's just push it all in there. We don't have a solution for that land. That's fine. Oh, wow, we can... Cementing rotflies for 2 fear. Now that's appetizing. So yeah, we've not done a whole lot recently. I do enjoy those propane tanks. If you're wondering what the hell me and Keith talk about, we're talking about Noita Super Cool Game. I'll be streaming tomorrow. Much earlier. 11 AM UK time. So, not a lot we can do about this in hand. A build here probably prevented by this disease. This card is either a mountain or a wetland explorer. This will prevent this wetland explorer. We have one place we can put presence this turn because of our stipulation, right? So that's a non-negotiable. We definitely want to do that. So that's non-negotiable. Do we have ordering issues here? We might want to... Do we want to reclaim these? If we reclaim this, we can use it this turn to clean up blight. I don't think that's necessarily worth it. We might like the extra energy. Or we might be able to look at more powers. Because we actually have only one land with buildings in this turn. Even post-build, there should be only one land with buildings. Oh, apart from this land. We don't talk about this land. Could always deal with that land in future with talons. So what I'm thinking is maybe do this... Actually, I don't think we do have any real ordering concerns. We are always going to want to place this presence and get 3 plays. But we may actually, depending on what we draw, we may really want to clean up this blight. So let's do this. The only place, because of our stip, we can legally put presence is here. Normally you'd look at the power first, but I'm just going to make the non-decision before I make the actual decision. Look at the card from growth first, then you can reclaim or gain a card. That's true. That is okay. That is true. It wasn't actually a non-decision. Damn it, bacon! You're making too much porky sense today. Yeah, true. Tentacles cosplay. No, it's Cthulhu. It's a redeem. It's a redeem we have around here. Oh no, I've kind of forgotten what I was doing. Okay. Yeah, we look at power. Do we? I think we still need a major for that. Basically, a good general idea is that if there's a city involved, you mostly need a major to deal with it, unless you've got Dahan and defend. Is that valid? I don't know. Maybe. Stip. Always make decisions based on a minimum information. Yeah, always draw your card as late as possible. Stip. Shadows, but you have to make the best effort to trigger the highest level of innate as possible each turn. Shadows, but prioritizing innate. Ugh. These are a lot of stips you've got here. Thanks, Butsy. Stip, minimal information. We've got a lot of good stips here. Stip. Shadows always trigger. Okay. So, look at these powers here. Volcanic's awkward because of just because this has blight in. We can't really do that. Rap is actually pretty good for us. We've actually already got a land with 3 Dahan in it. The final 3 Dahan. Do we have... And what we can do... So that's a 8 damage Ravage there. What we can do is we could use Enticing Splendor to yoink the town out so that it comes down to 6. And then we should be okay to kill the city and the council, which is dealing with the one lasting problem that we've got. Step 4, get rid of all your starting cards. Where did you get P3 Mask? Anyway, my mum gave it to me. She was just sick of looking at my face. Vacancies Eruption. We are kind of... the trouble with Vacancies Eruption is that we can't... We've only got one mountain presence and it's all the way over here. And our lands we need to deal with are over here. So I think it's wrap time. Rotflies. I'm sorry. You did what you could. Am I just making the wrong decision there? I think I actually prefer... Yeah, we get rid of Rotflies. So, and we want our 3rd play, especially in a world where we have these lovely 0-costers. Rap and... Oh, Rap, of course. Rap, yes. I'd forgotten about Ward there. Good point there, Bacon. Always use progression decks! Oh, God. I did actually do some runs on YouTube with the progression decks. I found them surprisingly hard. Okay, so we have no choice here because of our stipulation, so let's do that. And we cannot pick this because there's presence everywhere, right? That we can actually use, so we can't do that. We can reclaim, and we can look at a power card. So, yeah, I like that encompassing ward. So we'd have a total of 7 defend. I think we'd still yoink, maybe. Oh no, yoinking to here is a build. Yoinking to wetlands is kind of good because we can deal with wetlands with our Talons of Lightning. Also, no checking fear cards, invader cards. Yeah, those progression decks. I don't know. I think it's it's always good to try and make your game accessible. But like picking powers is like, for me, it's probably one of the most fun things for me. Is that kind of like, ooh. For the only benefit of the progression decks, minimize information overload for a new player. It takes one of the best parts of the game away, yeah. We are in agreement. Okay, what about... So there's a build here. So the builds don't matter. Okay. Yeah, let's reclaim. Let's just make that a safe defend. We should kill all the buildings in there. So there's our Rap. We don't have a good use for Rap next turn. If we did, I'd be tempted to use Constancy to reclaim it for next turn. But truth is, I'm always tempted to use Constancy. I love Constancy. More than life itself. That's 7 defend. Versus 8 attack is risky playing with events. Could Power Storm Rap. No, we're not doing that. That's ridiculous. So I think we'll entice. Interestingly, we might want to chase these elements here. That actually might be better. So we'd need 2 plant and a fire. Our only options for that... Got nothing useful to do with Pyroclastic. See, the Power Storm would get me the fire. We've got a plant... Oh, we don't have a plant on our tracks. Okay, let's just forget about all that. We need 2 plants for this. I like the progression deck when I learn the game, but I don't use them when I teach the game usually anymore. That, and they're often not good card choices for when you take them. Exactly, because sometimes the ideal card for your spirit is not the card you want that turn, that you need, you know. The fact that it's flexible is really useful. Okay. So yeah, so yeah, so I think we just go with this very simple setting up a counter here. And we will drag the town out to here, have the safest clear, I think. We do also get this. I think this is fine. So we'll wrap, and we'll bring these lads over. Over you go. And we'll encompassing ward. So up to 7, and so this is 8 damage versus 7. In base game, this is guaranteed, no problems. This is fine. We're playing with branching claw events. So I am going to drag a town out to make it slightly safer. Because because especially with Keeper, and especially with this weird stipulation, we don't really want Blight all over the place. Stip will play with unlimited undo, but give invaders an extra turn at the start of the game. Interesting. Interesting. A bit like, it's like a blitz scenario. Unlimited undo. I think an extra turn... Thing is, difficulty 0. I think an extra turn wouldn't make that much odds. Could try it, though. We're getting so many Stips here. Crikey. Stips. Extra turn. We'll have to have a special extra April Fool's Day. Okay, so where do we want to drag the town? We don't want to drag it in here because they're about to build. Here has wild, so it's actually a bit of a shame to bring it in here. Bringing it in here prevents us using Talon's Threshold. Dragging here for Talon's Threshold is kind of intriguing. Wetlands Explorer is still available. I think we don't want to drag up here because this wilds might just prevent an explore. So I'm going to bring in here. And I'm going to gather the town. And this takes this attack down to 6 versus 7, which should be safe. Not guaranteed safe, I don't think. I think there might be an event that will push that damage. It's my special ability to always get a major rule wrong when learning a game. Oh yeah, let's just see that. We tried the progression deck at first, but didn't realize you also use the starting spirit cards. Crikey. Stip 5, no undos, live with every decision and play around it. I try to minimize my undos when I'm streaming because it is an attempt at light entertainment. But yeah, I still do them. Sorry. Quick play, run a raffle for who gets to pick the Stip on the matchup. Oh crikey. Good, yeah, that's actually an idea. We could use the raffle system. Okay, extra build, beast damage. I don't think we've got any beasts right now. And freebie Dahan. No freebie Dahan. It's a sad event. Hopefully the board is empty enough that we... So you get the clear counter here. That's good news. Given how much you like certain spirits, playing Wildfire feels like a Stip by itself. Wildfire in solo spirit is brutal. It just is. I don't think there's any way around it. Unless you are very good at the game. And I'm keen on the game. I love the game, but I wouldn't say I'm particularly good. Okay, we're making a choice between building all jungles. There's no one there, so that jungle seems like a good choice. Or building here, building city. So we'll pick building nothing in jungles. And so we can add a wilds token somewhere. Push explorer. This ravage... We could just push here to make this safe, though there is an argument for... Oh, we could push into here, actually, and then smash this next turn with Talons of Fun. Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, good idea about the raffle system, actually. But then... Okay. Let's just see what we've got. A city build here this turn. So I think towns here is just correct. No adjacent buildings, so we don't care about the threshold. And then we've just got this town down here. Where are we for fear? We are 4 fear away from Terra 2. There's still a town here. Just checking the maths to see if we could double Talons of Lightning. We can't. So that was the thing I was somewhat... So the reason I pushed here was in case this was Wetland Explore. What that would have meant was that this wilds... We'd have lost the wilds and there would still be a building there. I think that was the right decision. But it does mean we can't just clear this with Threshold for the win. So could we have done it? No, not quite. Back-to-back Talons turns, game over. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Also, the Talons here means we've again got a situation where inland is pretty clear. So, no reason not to Talons. Our weird Stips mean we can't do these things anyway. So, because we'd be making Sacred Sites. So we'll just do the no-brainer bit, and then we'll do the bit where you think. Let's just quickly think about... So we've got this, and we're at the cusp of stage 3, so we probably still do want to get a wiggle on. Talon should be able to just deal with this, like Baker says, hitting here this turn, here the next turn. And that'll be enough fear to take us to Terra 2, and there won't be any more buildings. So I think we're just fine. Let's just gain a minor power card. What about Stip? Stem the Tide of Flames. So every card with fire element, play a card with water element if possible. Probably not very challenging on 0 difficulty, maybe a bit thematic. Intriguing. Let's just pick Rain of Blood because it's the best card. And if we gift of Constancy, we can just get lightning back. Not that we can use anything else anyway. Actually, no. Let's actually make a proper decision. Sorry about this. Sorry about this. Do we actually have a solution for this town? No. Oh, wow. We can actually get rid of this mountain blight. Oh, my God. I'm very excited about that. Finally. Finally, we can clean this island up. Hey, Chris. Nice to see you. You can play Power Storm and Talons this turn. Well, I can, but yeah, here's the thing. I can play them, but I can't afford to replay Talons. And this is I miscalculate this. I've miscalculated it multiple times. Because you actually need 12 energy. Power Storm gives you your energy back. So you don't have to think about it, especially in the app. If you're repeating cheaper cards. Oh, who needs a Sacred Site? Well, Sacred Sites are pointless, but look at this little fish face. You know, does everyone have to be useful? I think we're still okay. Let's gift for a bit more energy. And I think we just... I mean, given that we have to reclaim anyway, we may as well just play some bobbins. I think Power Storm for elements is intriguing. Yeah, let's hopefully this should just be pretty much done. So we'll rain some blood. Yeah, but fish face. I'm always raining blood. Constantly. Okay, Sacred Site's under threat. Well, see, if you've taken the time to strategize correctly and never use Sacred Sites. Yeah, Rain of Blood also needs a Sacred Site, by the way. See, here's where it all pays off. So, yeah, we don't have to pay any fire. Take that, game. Guard myself. Just not even going to pay anything. Win. Power overwhelming. Never end up with 0 energy. Start of the game doesn't count. Paired with taking water element. Intriguing. I quite like a Stip that I can sum up in 4 words that look stupid, like Sacred Sites are pointless. That's one thing I will say. I will say that. Removing exploring a town for a land with beasts. We don't have lands with beasts here. All my beasts are chilling by the fire. Okay, there's the win. We remove this town. From the fear card there. Thank you, fear card. Egg on their face. So, we've proved without a shadow of a doubt Sacred Sites are pointless. Don't use them. Unless you want everyone to think you're an idiot. You know, sometimes that's what you want. Yeah? Get people thinking that they've got the edge on you. Okay, so we've actually had actual millions of suggestions. I think what we're going to do is, yeah, we've got so many awesome suggestions. I like the idea of just doing a raffle. The winner gets to pick the stip, the bad advice stip. Ideally, if it could be as vaguely succinct, I'd like that. But if you win the raffle, you know, that's your rules. Full spirit game. Always multi-spirit. So we'll run the raffle. Is that the right one? That's going to run for... Is that working? Oh. Let me just quickly check. Wasn't expecting to run a raffle today. I'm just, you know, doing the behind-the-scenes stuff. For some reason, it's been disabled. Okay, fine. Let's enable it and try that again. Okay, there we go. It's 120 seconds. I'm going to run some ads. Sorry if you have to see them. It means that when people join the stream, then they don't get ads. This is a raffle to choose the stip, by the way. Just to be clear. So, yeah, no actual prizes on this one. And I'm going to run an ad while I take a quick bio break. And the winner will get to choose the stip. Okay? We clear? Alles klar? Okay, have returned. How much raffle have we got left? So please remember, this raffle is to choose the stip, okay? Well, I don't have any prizes prepared this stream. I will be having... I've got a new prize system coming up where we have a less unwieldy list. So yeah, this is for a raffle. Let's just quickly catch up on chat. Hey, Viking, nice to see you. Nice to see you, buddy. Shower us with dry brigade jokes. Viking's reputation for jokes has preceded them. Oh, we've got a flap redeem there. Thank you, Flappy. Zaphodus and Ergetbot. Firm friends. Okay, Turbo. You won. What is your bit of bad advice that you want me to follow rigidly? Ideally short, but it's your call. You're the winner. You're the winner here, Turbo. And we'll... Yeah, so... Let's get that going. Get that going. Right. Where's my... So we are on stip 4 now. And yeah, it can... Honestly, it can be as hard as you like, really. Hey, Trent. Nice to see you. So Turbo now racking their turb brains. One card play only. Okay. Intriguing. There are ways of cheating around that. Yeah, Pthulu. Thanks to Mr. Progressor, we are in the presence of Pthulu today. Playing 2 cards is stupid. Yes. Okay, that's good phrasing. Playing 2 cards. Oops, no, that's an underscore. There you go. Phrasing. Top track for the win. Okay, can you between you pick a spirit that will be a challenge on difficulty 0? Part of the idea is that I'm somehow illustrating that if you play with bad advice. Even difficulty 0 is hard. What spirit would struggle? Oh, actually, I should use more than one. That's more clear. There's actually might be less clear. Okay, we've got some suggestions. River. One player river. Oh, sadism. Shadows. Top track ocean. Okay, so whoever gets duped first. So river, shadows, ocean. The next chatter gets to decide my fate. Possibly first loss of the day. We'll see. River, shadow. Thank you, Trat. Thank you. Thank you, Trat. Very helpful. We salute you. I mean, could just play all three. Thunder Speaker. You're meant to be suggesting one of the above. Earth. Everyone's just suggesting different spirits now. My God. Cultivated a chat full of trolls. Whichever one gets duplicated first, and just saying all three is I don't know, horrifying. Okay, we've got a second shadows. So shadows, and I can only play one card. Wonderful. Earth's somewhat doable one card play. Yeah, because you get to cheat out extra actions, right? So Earth, I'd say actually is very viable. Because any of the spirits where you've got these extra little side ideas, these defend 3 from sacred sites, you could be placing your presence, making sacred sites, and that's pretty valuable. Shadows on the other hand, this might struggle here. Thunder Speaker could win. Yeah, I should think they can. Because they've got good elements on their tracks. Shadows here has nothing. I think our best bet is going to be to, of course, we're kind of lucky in that we've got no reason to go bottom track at all. So we can just focus on this top track. I'd like to say that using a card that allows another player a foul, but you're the stream. Okay. Nah, but you're the turbo. Anyway, why would I want to play more than one card? It's stupid. We've established this. Started playing Gaia Project, spacey reimplementation of Terra Mystica. I like it a lot. I've been really wanting to try Gaia Project because I didn't like Terra Mystica that much. But partly because I felt like it was themeless. But Terraforming felt way more of an accurate match to the theming on that. Okay, so what have we got? This is actually a pretty good mantle. Can you act to be stupid? Then you can play 2 cards. You got it. I can't be presenting a premise and then squeaking around it. Gaia Project is for days when you have 12 plus hours of free time. It'd be easy just to terraform a planet. Welcome to a tabletop simulator session. Maybe I will. It is on Board Game Arena, I think. I'm probably more comfortable on there. I didn't even know there was a digital version. Okay. So we've got... Hey, Scar. Greetings to you. Butt me later. Okay. Interesting. How does this change things? Okay, we want to be drafting a major ASAP. This is high priority. It's the Blightland. We're never getting our innate with one play and no elements on track. So we are going to be going pretty hard into majors. Turn 1, we've got no energy. Interestingly, we're not forced to do this. Because we can't go the standard opening of this into 2 plays. Buttletop butt me later. Trat, are you still playing a lot on Tabletop Simulator? Oh, by the way, Trat taught themselves through the ages on Tabletop Simulator. Can everyone just clap for Trat? It's kind of ridiculous. I didn't even know it was possible. So we've got a few options. Favors Called Jew is pretty nice burst of fear at the start, but I think the mantle is good. The benefit of favors is that we can take these Lone Dahan and stop them getting yoinked by an event. Sort of grumpy person disliking all these applications and board game readers. Except for Through the Ages, their app is great. Yeah, Through the Ages app is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Occasionally buggy, but they fix it. If there's ever the bug, they fix it. Wonderful app. Great little scene as well. Lovely streamers for Through the Ages also. Let's just shout them out because I can. I'm talking DJ Parson. I'm talking The Splendid Splinter. Both lovely to watch. Yes, did it. Okay. Here is, I think it's a good turn one mantle. But yeah, I because there's quite a lot of click drag in Tabletop Simulator, I do struggle with it a bit. It does upset my hands. Alas. I think, yeah, we mantle this turn. This is building a town. Nothing we can do about that anyway. I like that the mantle deals with this. Gives us a chance to build up a little bit. Yeah. Do we go with looking at a power card? Because we are going to be playing one card a turn. So we're probably going to be in a position where we never reclaim. Or we don't reclaim once or something. We could start looking at major powers turn one. Because we're going to reveal one energy. However, probably want to go for this anyway. Because what that'll mean is we can play any major. Turn two, right? If we play, gain the 3 energy, get that, we'll be up to 4. We'll spend 1. If we play this the following turn, we're up to 3 energy, 6 energy to spend, is most majors. There are, a couple that are more expensive than that. Are there? Is it even as many as a couple? 1? 2? I wonder if there's time for Stip 5. Play with your non-dominant hand. I actually do that anyway, because my hands, I switch to my left hand. I probably should do it more for Spirit Island, because it's not a Twitch game. Like Twitchy. I just do that anyway. So I think, given that we're going to probably go from looking at a major next turn, this mantle solves a lot of our problems. So I think we do this so that we've got flexibility to pick whatever major we like next turn. We're going to be mantling in here. What about placing in here for a potential future crops wither to downgrade this city and make it a town? Towns are more manageable. Could just be that we're throwing away presents doing that. Major this turn, energy next. Actually, that's interesting you say that. Wait. Yeah, right, we don't need this energy for anything. And of course it's turn 1, we don't have any events to throw energy at, so the extra energy won't be useful for that. If we're committing to looking at a major next turn anyway, we may as well look at one this turn in case we get a load of useless nonsense. Oh yeah, all Ergobot does is say hi. Very simple little bot, Okay, I'm not sure where Ergobot's going with that. So yeah, that's a good point. I can always just do that next turn. In this particular situation, there's no benefit to gaining the energy first. Is there? Is there? No. We're not going to be playing this major turn 1 anyway. Yeah, I actually like that. This also means we can plan, and maybe we'd actually have a different decision. Good thinking, Bacon. Bless your streaks. Okay, insatiable hunger. Is today insatiable hunger of the swarm day? This is one of my favourite cards from Branch and Claw. Always enjoyed this. Trickier to play in single board though. Tricky. Okay, none of these things, I actually don't think any of these things really influence my decision. It's actually kind of rancid to be playing in the early game because we don't get to do the remove invaders. Obviously thresholds are irrelevant. What about accelerated rot, huh? That even... See, the beauty of insatiable hunger is we can use it to kill this coastal city. Adds 2 beasts, gather a beast, clear the city, and by then there might be an explorer in there. It'll kill that as well. And we'll be net adding a beast to the board, which is an investment. In case you need a sacred for targeting, I think it's not much odds. What's all this? And this is, you know, if you are going to gain a beast, then turn 1 is, or turn 2 is the earlier the better. This is a very cool card. The fact it's 5 energy is slightly off-putting, though. The other nice thing with this is that it can target any land. The price, of course, is you're adding Blight. We're unlikely to want to play, and so theory crafting a little bit about playing a single power is this spirit. We're unlikely to ever want to play Blight removal, unless it's Blight removal that does something else. If it's going to Blight, anyway, may as well Wasp it. Well, yeah. Yeah, I think it's reasonable. And yeah, I really don't like this at terror level below 2, but it's 4 fear. Too expensive. What about unlock? Yeah, again, not a card we want to play without thresholds. I think actually of these are the only 2 ones that are even remotely viable. Rot would save us a Blight if we played it in there. It would net us 3 fear, but it wouldn't deal with this important objective of clearing this coastal city. So I think we go with this. Also, I just like the card. Do we have the luxury of using the Concealing Shadows trick in this run? Because to do the trick, you probably want to do Favors Called Due first. Oh, Flap Redeem. Thanks for the well done as well. You can clear the whole board with swarms. Ah, can dream. Trouble is, if I swarm into the coast, then my swarm is going to be on the coast. But, you know, that's just it. Thanks for the Flap Redeem. Looking after my little claws. So if we are going to swarm here, we don't really need Crops Wither and Fade. Favors Called Due does potentially do quite a lot of work. I think we get rid of this. And of course, elements don't matter because we are limited to 1 play, and we have no elements on our track either. Now, thinking about presence placement, we could go at 1 range. We want to be able to target in here. Maybe not now, but next turn. So I think we just set this up here. We don't have a 0 range place, do we? No. So here we've kind of got in or adjacent to anywhere on the board. If it's not a Sand Explorer next turn, you can Favors. Yeah. And Sand Explorer would be a really nice response to do this. So, Mantle. And we can Mantle into here. The nice thing about having the beasts in with the actually, we probably want to... Sorry, this is a bit of incomprehensible gibbering here. If we use Insatiable in here... Okay, we did get the Sand Explorer. Then we can actually clear 6 health worth invaders. So I think Mantling and pushing the town in here so we destroy that as well. I'm thinking about pushing in with this beast, the Explorer. Because if next turn in the fast phase we're doing 6 damage, it'd be nice to know that this was just clear, especially as there's Blight in there. We're probably not cleaning up any Blight in this game, ever. Oh, we're taking this beast in here anyway. Nah, we'll push them all into here. So an Explorer will survive, but hopefully a disease token will prevent it doing anything. And if that doesn't, then there are beasts in there as well. The Tentacle Flap. Yeah. A new day, a new redeem. So we've got a Blight happening in here. Whatever. That's what I say. Of course, if we want to Insatiable, we need the energy. So this is the option. Let's put a Sacred Site up here. And what that means is we are now got a Sacred Site in or adjacent to all these lands. Solo board, this kind of targeting stuff is pretty straightforward. But I think this is always a nice ideal to have. Especially if you're in a clutch game, you want to know that if you draw a clutch major, you've got that kind of inner adjacent Sacred Site business going on. So we are going to be almost clearing that land. A couple of stonks in there. Bring in another stonk. Stopping blighters for morons. Yeah. Yeah. Only a fool. The weird thing is that one of my mental slips is to say presence when I mean blight. I mean, that's how far gone I am. Okay, nice to see festering plits out of the game. This is one of my least favourite blighted island effects. City's doing extra damage. We care not. Okay, so the disease actually was ignored this turn. Fierce Mean is going to gain us nothing. Disease ignored this turn. We could put in with this blighted land, because this is a land we'd really, we don't want to blight into. This also is going to ravage this turn, so this is actually similar in that regard. This land actually has possible counterplay. This doesn't. Might regret this insatiable hunger. New mages each turn. Yeah, possibly. Thinking about new mages, I think we probably do want to have wetland presence if we grab the what the hell is it called? Cleansing Floods, because that is a way of doing damage and clearing some blight. This in either of these we're potentially preventing a city build, right? That's pretty valuable. This is blighting anyway. We'll put it in there. Also, no Dahan in there so that the disease isn't going to kill any of our Dahan. Each player removes an explorer town for land where it's the only invader. Okay, that's pretty juicy. Removing that town's quite good. Or just preventing this build is also quite good, because this disease, because of the event, is not going to prevent the build this turn. This is there's only one other building on this island, though. But they will, of course, replace this. I think this deals with this ravage that we have got no in-hand solution for. So I think we do that. Though it's a shame to not have those beasts in with an invader, but I think this is better. Oh, they would have skipped the build anyway. Thanks, Fear Card. Thanks a lot. Very helpful. So these beasts are going to sit here not doing anything until stage 2, but that's okay, probably. Okay, Ravage here this turn. 3 damage. No in-house solutions. So 5 energy to play with. Potentially, well, 6 energy if we go for gaining a power card. I think Bacon's plan of just gaining a new major each turn is probably reasonable. Sounded a bit dismissive. It is reasonable. It's a good plan. Because if you've only got one play, you've got to make it count. What do we do if we don't get a good major? Favors for fear, probably. Setting up a messy counter, preventing unfortunate events with these Dahan is probably reasonable. Messy counter it here. It's probably okay. Yeah. We look at majors. Well, if it is an old Glimmerfest carnation, we can afford it as well, can we? Yeah, we've not placed the presence yet. We can afford it. It has funky targeting, though, and there are no cities on the board, so we can't actually use it. So yeah, that does need the city for targeting. But we do have Towns of Lightning. Towns addresses this awkward land here, where there's Blight, and that's kind of nice. Strangling Firevine. No wilds on the board just yet. I mean, I guess I like that this deals with this land. Cthulhu tip, always place presents before picking a new card. Yeah. It's a classic. Firevine, it does work. Well, it will destroy all explorers and do 2 damage. So we could use it in this land up here. Could use it in this land up here. It also solves this. The nice thing is it's somewhat cheaper as well. Though, if I was going to use this, I may as well use this. 3 damage is pretty much will deal with these. It will save me an energy, and it will get me the 2 fear and a disease. So I think I prefer smothering if I'm going to save the energy in one of these lands. Oh, but yeah, stopping the future explorer is true. That's potentially quite a lot of value, isn't it, if we prevent explorers? We can prevent 2 explorers. Like if we were to use Firevine from here, clear this land, and then we could clear this somehow. There is a Ravage there this turn. Yeah, it is a future explore prevent. You are right. So we do have this Ravage here. It's actually, Favor's Call do, of course, is too slow to address this. This is kind of interesting. It feels got to feel a bit like playing Bringer at high difficulty. Because you're just, it's just a bit ropey. Okay, where are we with our cards? Okay, we have 3 fear from Terra 2. No city builds on the horizon if this disease does its job. But 2 town builds. I'm wondering whether to kind of push fear or to push the kind of the explore prevention. I think if this sand was empty, it'd be tempting. This sand on the coast is empty, but it has beasts in. I kind of want my beasts to be in with invaders. I might be asking a bit much. It's a bit much. But this, on the other, this here is ridiculous. But if you're going to play 1 card on your turn, this is the kind of card it wants to be. I mean, this here is 4 fast fear, which will take us to Terra 2. Stip 5 council meeting. You're allowed to deal damage to invaders only after you gather all Dahan in your firstly created sacred site. Oh my god. You're not allowed to play any non-Dahan movement actions. That sounds horrible. I don't know how you'd even make that work. Yeah, the joy of bureaucracy. Why let the event deck have the only bureaucratic card? Why not let us be bureaucrats too? Okay, we don't need this here, so let's get rid of this. Don't need you, fear deck. See, what I'm trying to kind of get a vague feeling for is, am I rushing the fear deck to deal with this to deal with this scenario, or am I going to go with preventing a build here? Like, if I'm rushing fear, I might be trying to win at Terra 3. If I'm trying to win at Terra 3, I don't really care about the explore here, which is the benefit of the vine, right? Is you're putting a wilds in here. If this land was empty, it'd be more tempting. I kind of want people to be in with beasts if I'm chasing fear. Pizzo P3 to get rid of beast stocks ASAP. Yeah, never have beast stocks. Thunderspeaker could probably make that work, and rather quickly. Yes, yeah. Thunderspeaker is pretty good at the old moving people around. Pretty good at that. Yeah, so I'm kind of, although I am just looking at this, I am trying to figure out. So this is nice because it solves this awkward land. I know there's disease in there. It's also fast fear, which could be clutch if we are doing a fear race kind of game. We're kind of forced on top track, but we can afford to play this. I mean, we can't afford to reclaim and play it alternating, but we can afford to, you know, this is affordable for us in this weird situation. However, if we play it this turn, we're forced, because we've got to reveal this turn, we'll be forced to play a much cheaper one next turn. Also intriguing is that we could just use Concealing Shadows here. Have a cheap turn. To mean we destroy this town. No, that's not good. So there is some crunching going on behind my tentacles. You can't see the agony. You can only see the cosmic horror. So the trouble with going with, but the nice thing is that this I could hold, right? I could even wait for them to build a city in this mountain or this wetland, and then hit it with talons. But then what would I be doing this turn if I'm not using talons? I guess this is still worth hitting. The infestation though is just solves this land, keeping it. We do kind of want to keep the unhealthy if we can. Oh, we're not keeping the unhealthy. We are not dealing with a healthy island here. Thankfully, if we reveal the Blighted Island card that gives us an extra play, we can replace it. You have 5 energy for another major next turn anyway. True. True. Yeah, there is a wetland with disease. It's hard to explain what's going on in the pea brain now. I'm not sure I can vocalize it. Waiting a long time for that seat. Yeah. True, but at the moment, the way I'm seeing this board is that these are my built-up areas. If we are racing for fear, we'd love big, fast fear damage cards, right? This is great in a fear race. We can afford it. We can afford it. This is also great in a fear race, but we actually can't play this. We're not likely to be able to play it for a while. You know, like a few turns, but that could be okay. If we grab this, what are we doing? Possibly Favors Called Due. Just largely for the 3 fear, but also potentially for a messy counter in here. The trouble at that point is that we've got a blight here, we've got a blight here, probably got a blight here. Look, that's a lot of blight. That is a lot of blight to be dealing with. Bacon thinks Talons of Firevine. Megacris says if you play Talons this turn, you could gain a fear card that deals with Sand 6. Ooh, that's also true. That's possible. There's no beasts or anything in here. I think if you've got beasts and stuff like that, you're more likely to help. But there is a Dahan. Terror level 2? Would that deal with it? Possibly. Or, if it fails to deal with this, it might deal with this, it might deal with this. That's true. We can afford it. We'll go down to 0. The following turn, we'll have 4 energy. We could play these for just some fear. Yeah, I think you're right. Leaning into the fear deck is the way. Treating it a bit like Bringer. Like you treat a Bringer match. So, I think given that we really don't want to reclaim, we probably just kind of on principle take from here. Given how blighted the island is, we might not want this, but this at least is very flexible, so I think we get rid of Mantle. Presence placement. So, if we're going to clear this land, this turn... So, Jungle Hungers, is that a card we care about? Could be. I don't want to risk presence where I don't need to. If we're definitely talonsing this land this turn, this is pretty safe then. So I'm going to have a safe presence in here. Why do I care? Because I might get Cleansing Floods and want the water presence to hit in here. Potentially, I know there's disease in there. Very unlikely to ever want to play a miner again. Yeah. Unlikely. The other thing to think about is I'm actually not in many lands with Dahan. I've only got 1 Dahan. That's enough to trigger Years of Little Rain. But actually, especially given how close this is, and given this guy's going to die this turn, I think I'm actually going to... Oh no, we've got these. What are you talking about, peasant? You've already got these, lads. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. And again, I'm not sure I can fully justify my actions. It's Super Sacreds only. Pizzo's patented Super Sacred sites. They're incredibly sacred. Just looking at them and you feel incredibly holy. So here's the fear card. I like that play. I like the fact that might... I mean, high odds of it helping with these. 2 presents only in a land is stupid. You can only have 1 presence or 3 presents. Having 2. The fools. Oh, it's the poultry speaker favourite. Okay, if we can push in with these beasts, we'll gain 2 fear. Will I remember? Damn it, I can't push with these beasts and get 2 fear. The times are sad, because each beast would have generated a fear if invaders were present. But we did get the solution, so Chris was absolutely correct. Chris could be winner of the week. Yes, winner of the week is back. So I think we want to push into the mountain, right? Because that's the place we can guaranteed hit, and we can hit it when we want to. 5 damage would clear town and explorer. So I think we push into the mountain, right? Yeah. Dahan from Blight to land without Blight is good. We can set up a messy counter in here with these 2 Dahan. Yeah, so we push to mountain. Oh, no, it's diaspora. We can't push both in there, of course. It's so foolish. Even number of presents is terrible. Next step, all presents is 1 land. Players think you're volcano. Play as volcano when not volcano. I know you can have presents in more than 1 land. But I like that's a nice simple stip. Oh god, we've got so many of these. And my connection to, you know, mainstream time standards is tenuous. We could have another April Fool's Day very soon. All presents, 1 land. Very good. Very good. Very good. So where do we put this explorer? Not in here. In with Dahan is kind of interesting. In with disease, it might just get killed by an event. Let's just take that. Oh, actually, that's bad. I'm actually going to undo that. Why is it bad? I hear you cry. Because if they explore in here, then there'll be 2 explorers, which is enough to ravage and place blight. So the disease will be kind of pointless. It will be undermining the disease. There is a chance the disease would kill them, but it's only a chance. It's not guaranteed. So actually, I think it's better to not push there, to push into one of these 2. Do I have an opinion about which one of these to push into? Here is bad because it means this messy counter we're about to set up with this Forsake the Barren Land. All of a sudden, we're dealing with even numbers of damage, which is bad for messy counters. So we definitely don't want to push in there. So actually, we want to push into here. There you go. We figured it out, chat. All presents in 1 land bring a specialty. Oh, we do get to move our beasts. Wonderful. That is wonderful. And we get to move both of them. Let's lean in. Oh, so actually it wasn't the fear card that solved this land, but I think let's lean into the beasts just killing these explorers. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to kill this explorer, but it's not essential right now. And we now get to push 2 Dahan, so we're still in this event. 2 from a land with blight to a land without. So if we set up a messy counter here, I quite like that. And we can make it a fairly safe-ish messy counter by pushing both. Though the idea of pushing 1 into here and 1 into here is also kind of interesting. Yeah, so I think I'm going to push both in here to make sure... God, you know, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, there's going to be a lone Dahan left anyway, so I think we push in there, make it safer. Could be Ocean too. Ocean has to place inland at setup. Thing about advice is that if you're dealing with concrete facts, you know, if you can't act, then advice is irrelevant. So you could still make it work. See what our fear card is. Each player removes 2 explorers or a town from a land with Dahan. Well, one option, and it was that. So we don't get our messy counter, we get something that's arguably better. Okay, wetland explore. Yeah, so here I'm glad I didn't push into there for the reasons outlined. Wildfire with 1 land. Difficult. Just wildfire. Difficult. Flipping wildfire. Okay. So, what have we got here? 4 energy. We could afford to reclaim insatiable hunger of the swarm. trouble we have, of course, is that because we've only got 1 damage and no way of getting thresholds, we can't take advantage of a lot of the multi-land damage kind of mages, right? So that's tricky. Town builds here, and that, of course, is leading in to a ravage here, but we can deal with that with our talons, right? So, if we're placing 2 presents, if we reclaim, we'll only have 5 energy next turn, right? So we need to make sure we have at least 1 energy left over. Or just place this and have all the energy. Trouble with that is we're kind of giving up on having a big turn, but we could just be gaining 3 fear. You know, that's kind of valuable in itself. Okay, so if we go with this power card here, we go up to 5 energy. So we could pay a 4 energy power card. There's plenty of things we'd like. We've only seen, I mean, yeah. There's plenty we'd like to see. There is a blighting ravage here. So given I know for a fact that I'm going to want 2 Talons of Lightning in here next turn, I want to make sure I can do that. Hopefully this disease will prevent this build. This is a cascade, so this really, this blight here, we might get lucky with the event. Or the fear cards or what have you to deal with this. We don't actually have any fear cards this round unless we gain fast fear as well. Insatiable, I mean, the trouble with Insatiable, of course, is we are placing blight ourselves, but we are doing it on our own terms. I'd rather use Insatiable as a finisher than use it in the mid game. But that's just principle blather. Mutter, mutter, mutter. So, okay. If we look at a major here, we have 5 energy to play with. If we spend 4 energy, then we have 1 left over. So when we reclaim, we'll have the 6 that we need to Talons if we don't draw a solution for this land. So I like looking at a major here, especially as this is basically a turn where we gain 3 energy. It's not a turn where we achieve much. And we don't have a meaningful favours either, because if we've got a solution for this, then the favours aren't really doing a lot apart from 3 fear. So I think we do look at a major. We just hopefully only spend 4 energy for it. That's the dream. Oh, Savage Transformation, best card in game. Power of Fright would work. So Pillar is beyond our budget. Our initial idea of a budget, but maybe we like it. So we could use Pillar in a mountain, maybe. Dissolve. Sorry for all the umming and ahhing. But Mares could do some work. Is it time for Dissolve? It's never time for Dissolve. Solves the wetland. It does. It does. I guess that frees me to then just hammer these mountains, right? It's true. It's a true thing you're saying there. The trouble is we really need to close this out before stage 3 because we're not going to be able to do much beyond. This is a good challenge, Turbo 2 and chat. Yet Dissolve. It's a card I use so rarely that I always have to read it very closely. City becomes 2 explorers. A town becomes an explorer. A Dahan becomes an explorer. Then we push them all into as many lands as possible. So this is nice because there are no Dahan in here. Push an explorer in here, it will get killed by the Ravage. Push it in here, it doesn't make any odds. Push it in here and... Actually, that's not ideal because then after the explorer we're not clearing the land. So probably we'd push in here and in with this disease. Shadows could really use some elements on track. I think it's time for Dissolve. If April Fool's Day isn't the time to play Dissolve, I don't know what day of the year is. Are we ever going to play Concealing Shadows? I'm not convinced we are. Is a single fast fear. Yeah, we're never going to want to play that. Okay, so next turn we're reclaiming. Do we have a place we care to put a presence? Maybe make a super sacred in here, given that we're going to lose a presence in here, probably. I feel it would become pretty crunchy. Yeah, it's actually better than the ones I came up with, because this is actually challenging. Stip 5, it's always Monday. After first round, you have to gain exactly one fear card each round. Oh, God. Oh, God, the pain. Guess Dissolve can also be played on April 2nd. Well, somewhere in the world, I'm sure it is April 2nd. And I'm sure somewhere else in the world, April 3rd. Don't ask me how time works. Because you don't want to know. So yeah, we'll make a super sacred in here. Because we are going to gain a card on reclaim, and we might want a sacred site down here. And this is why you always go super sacred. You don't always go super sacred. So we're going to Dissolve in here. Possibly the first time I've played Dissolve ever. We don't care about fearful mobs. 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to Dahan. Okay. So we do get the clear here. Nice. Thanks, fearful mobs. And no beast action here, so we are going to lose a presence in there. It could also be called Pocket English Resolve. So we have a Blind Island. Downward Spiral? Okay, I'll take it. No dramas. There's one of the bits of... So I do follow some degree of Spirit Island talk online. And I am often amazed by the number of people that will claim that this particular Blighted Island card is an instant loss. It should never be an instant loss. This is actually one of the... It's a bit boring, right, compared to some of the others. That's true. But if this is an instant loss, you are not placing enough presence. There you go. I've said it. Well, I didn't say it. P. Thulu said it. Okay, so where are we pushing? We don't want to push in here if we can avoid it, because this is the situation where if we push in there, we're creating a 2 damage ravage, even when hopefully the disease should prevent it. So we want to make sure we push into not here. In with a beast is always a good idea. Always. Every time. And here is... I'm not so keen on this. Because... Are we just always going to be a bit out of reach on this challenge? Maybe. Because if we push in here and we explore, then they're up to 6 health and we can't clear the land with talons and just 5 damage. So maybe pushing in here is good. The thing is, we're kind of hoping that the beast is going to deal with this town. That's how we win, if we win. I think either way, I still want to make sure that this gets cleared if it gets explored. The build here, taking in a one Dahan land, taking damage from 3 to 4 is kind of irrelevant. I just got a Chivo there, by the way. Yeah, this must be the first time I've ever played this card. In the app. I think I've played it in the physical. Tipping bad isn't too bad usually either. Yeah, for most spirits. Not nice for days. But if you're playing days, you've got bigger concerns. If newer players are getting their presence destroyed by Ravages and losing more could feel quite bad. Oh yeah, it's not going to necessarily feel good, but it's not an instant loss. Like, I think it's like, if that's the Blight card you're worried about, then you're just not placing enough presence. I don't think there's... I mean, Mists doesn't like that. But if you're a new player and you're playing Mists, then, you know, you really hate yourself and you've got problems I can't fix. God. Oh, the blather on this one. So we might get lucky and win now. If we reclaim, get our talons, destroy these 2 towns, gain the the 3 fear. So we'll gain a total of 5 fear, which is a fear card, right? We're also going to get to look at another card. So we're hoping that the beast will kill the town. That's what we're hoping for. Tipping's tough for Volcano too. Yeah. I think the blight cards that destroy presence are grim for some spirits particularly, and then others just don't care. Lightning and Fangs don't like tipping. Well, playing as Fangs, especially at high difficulty, I'm playing around tipping. And most spirits I am thinking about tipping point. Because it's a grim way to lose. Interestingly, Ted V, who's the kind of lead developer on the game, really dislikes tipping point. They don't even have it played in their physical copy. Okay, so we are reclaiming because we've got... Are we reclaiming? Are we reclaiming? What's actually happening this turn? No ravages. We just try and win this turn. I feel like we want to try and win before stage 3, because then we really are going to struggle. Am I better off using Insatiable Hunger of the Storm? That's a question. It will add a blight, but we've got a big blight pool. And it will add more. It will do... No, it's less fear. We don't want to do that. I gamble tipping with... You just gamble it. God, braver than me. Even in the app, where it's more likely. You are a brave salted pork product. That's for sure. So we're probably forgetting favours this turn. Dissolve actually only works on a single of each building type. Yeah, no reason not to look at a major. Let's see what we get. Stip 5. Rainbow Downpour. Play Drought in Sands. Play the Jungle Hunkers in Jungle. Play Unbearable Deluge in Wetlands. Play Volcanic Eruption in Mountains. All in one game. Oh my god, that's an impossible one. Play Talons this turn. That's the current plan, Chris. That's what I'm dreaming of. But as we are reclaiming, gaining a power anyway, we may as well look at that. So Tsunami is big chunks of damage. We like Tsunami. But it's, yeah, not really what we need right now. There is a build here. This is a defend card, so this does solve this land in a way it doesn't place blight, which is always appealing, you know. It's also quite a cheap solution. This, hopefully that coastal disease will deal with that sand. If I make more beasts, I get blighted less often. Yeah, true. Past was awesome this game. yeah. It's going to achieve a lot, you know. It's basically infinite energy. Like one of my old bosses, he thought he'd made a perpetual motion machine. He's like, look, mate, what's this battery here? What's this battery you've got on here? Oh, that just gets it started. Oh, does it? Oh, does it now? You flaming galah. Actually, quite a scary guy. So I probably wouldn't say that to his face, because I like having a face of my own. Okay, zero energy costs 0 effect. Yeah, right. It's perfect. A later time, Winds can help to remove a city. Maybe that gives you win on Terra 3. Yeah, I think Winds is the clear pick. Yeah, I think it's the right pick. The ideal would be cards that can deal with multiple lands, but there aren't. Are there any that even do that without Threshold? I mean, without any kind of because of our restriction, we don't have the ability to threshold anything. Yeah, nothing deals with multiple lands without threshold. Interesting. At least it doesn't impact the game negatively. That's how Pizzo's face turns into what you see on screen today. Yeah, okay, here's my live pro tip for you. If someone that you know, they're involved in certain criminal industries for a long time, Tells you all about their perpetual motion machine. Just nod and smile. Okay. Fire and floods, it needs... Oh, no, you're correct. You are correct. That does target 2 lands. I was getting my Stips mixed up there. Yeah. This is a 2-land targeter. I think that is it for 2-land targeters, right? I guess, in theory at least, Strangling Fireband kind of does damage in 2 lands, but it's a pathetic amount of damage. Unless you're able to get a Wild's engine going. Yeah, Fire and Floods is the only one without Threshold. Well, apart from the one I just looked at. Okay, yeah, Winds is the clear pick, and we lose Favours. So, hopefully, we can get the win this turn. Destroying these 2 towns, hoping that the Fear card / event / beast deals with this. If that doesn't work, we've actually got a pretty quiet turn, but we do have a town build here. But yeah, we're kind of reliant, I think, in this with this particular spirit, in this particular scenario, we are heavily reliant on help from tokens. That's what it is. Tigers pushes beast after the damage. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so we do lose a presence. Oh no. May as well quit. This presence isn't doing a lot, though. This was for some idealized cleansing floods. Let's get rid of this one, because this is a better cleansing floods anyway. Sacred Site's under threat. Ooh. Do we have do we have the thing? Get a bit of beast stonk. So we're going to get a couple of fear from beasts, which is another fear card. That's good news. And okay, Sacred Site's under threat. To the rescue. Dissolve to the rescue. So aided by fire. And this is a card that just boggles me. So we aid by fire. So we are guarding ourselves. We're going to forget dissolve. Hero of the game. We don't care about this one. We'll lose a presence in here, and we'll kill this town in here, which it should be the last building. So we'll deal damage in here. That's the win! But yeah, that was Turbo. I think that was the best stip yet. Well, Turbo and Chat for choosing Shadows. I think that was actually an interesting challenge. Sounded very dismissive there. So yeah, thanks. Thanks, everybody. We've had so many stip selections. Stip suggestions. I think I'm going to wrap up there. I'm going to finish on a high. But I think we might have more April foolery. That was good. Let me know what you think of the Discord. Thanks for the well done morning. And also, good evening, morning. It just amuses me to say times of day to someone called morning. All right, let's see who's around. Let's see. It's going to take me a while. I'm something of a boomer with these things. Can't wait to combine all these tips into one play. One play. Good luck with that. Oh, God. Just looking at my own stream. Let's see who's around. So, okay, we've got... So there's friends of the stream kicking around. Let's see, do we have anyone topical who's also a friend? We've got some possibilities. Let's just quickly look in the board game category. See who's around in there. And there's all this gibber. Board game category is so weird. It's like if Board Game Geek's doing something, or one of the fancy board game community people are doing something that's busy, but then otherwise very quiet. Okay, so let's just raid a friend of the channel. Oh, thanks for all these well dones. Well done, well done. Well done, well done, well done. And here I'm looking through my followers. I'm like, I don't know who half these people are. So I've not raided... Ooh. Raided them the other day. It's a big decision. If you join me on the raid, you'll get more important channel points, apparently. Let's raid Sprig. They are similar to me in their what they cover. They cover board game adjacent stuff. If you are primarily a board gamer, they play Gloomhaven. Honestly, that's not in my wheelhouse, but it might be in yours. And they're very present. They are also from the West Country, but they have a much better accent. And they're playing Dying Light 2, Stay Human. So like me, they are not playing exclusively board games. I'm back tomorrow. Another weekend stream. What the hell? With some Noita starting a lot earlier in the day. Because why not? But yeah, let's raid Sprig. He's very nice. Is D-Walls on? I didn't see D-Walls. I did look. I didn't see them. We've raided them quite a lot lately. It's good to mix it up a bit. Okay. Alright, so if you want to drop some spam in their chat, jump it in. Bacon's played Gloom. Okay, is that raid started? Okay, it's getting ready. Yeah, so I'm back tomorrow at 11 a.m. And remember, next week, both the news show and Spirit Island are going to be starting 2 hours later so that my North American friends don't have to get out of bed so early. Because, you know, I know it's a work day, but, you know, I thought it'd be a bit better to do that. So, possible pre-stream for the news show, but not for Spirit Island, because I need as many brain cells as possible. All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's say hello to Sprig. Oh, I've got an end screen as well. So I'm going to go into that. All right. Bye for now.